We are not that long away from kickoff for this game between Poland and Austria in Berlin. Let's join up with your commentary team, Ian Danta and Darren Bent, get their pre-match thoughts then ahead of this one. Ian, I'll come to you first because you mentioned obviously the team news and the lineups earlier on, a number of changes for both sides. In terms of the tweaks that Poland have made, what do you think the thinking will be behind that?
I think the interesting thing for me is that Piontek's been given a chance up front. They played Kasper Urbanski along with young Buksha in attack. But Piontek, who's had a decent season in the league with the Istanbul Başakşehir club in Turkey, scored 17 in the league, and he's 28 years of age, so he's got a lot of experience at league football, but this is only his 30th cap. I think that's an interesting switch around. You know, Lewandowski's there, lurking with the potential to be used. I like what Zielinski was doing in that first game, and he's vastly experienced, winning his 92nd cap tonight. He's the creative hub for Poland. And then for Austria, you've got Marcel Sabitzer making his 9th appearance at the Euros today, which is the most by any player in Austrian history. Another guy like Rangnick, his manager with links recently to Manchester United. He's an important player in terms of their setup. So Zielinski and Sabitzer could be the key for either side today.
OK, well, I can see that the substitutes are making their way out. Robert Lewandowski, one of those that is on the bench for Poland today. Another game, unfortunately, is not able to start. Their talisman, their record appearance maker, goal scorer as well. And Poland, well, this is their 5th European Championship, but they don't tend to do that well once they have qualified, unfortunately. Darren, in terms of Austria then, with that game against France, not many people perhaps would have expected them to have given them such a tough game as they did. Does that mean for you that you'll be edging towards Austria to get the result tonight?
Yeah, it would be, but they've got to back it up. I mean, it's all well and good doing it against the bigger teams where you're not expected to get anything. There's games like now where they're expected to beat Poland, where they're probably favourites to beat Poland. They've got to go out there and do it, and that's a different type of pressure in itself. So they've got to play the exact same way as they did against France, where they were hungry, they pressed really well, they created chances. It was just the last little bit that they didn't do very, very well, which was put the ball in the net. I think if they get the same opportunity today with someone like a Marko Natovic in the side, I think they'll take them, and I think they'll beat Poland today.
It's one of those sides, isn't it, Austria, that play aggressive football. They like to press high. Something that was lacking very much from England yesterday, Darren.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And again, you know, we spoke about the England performance earlier, but you're right, Austria, they're going to have to be at the races today. I mean, because there's players, you play against France, you think, right, that's the hard game out of the way. We can go again now. We should beat Poland. Then you let your level slip. You can't do that in a game like this because you both need the points. You both need to win. And the last thing you want to do is put in a mediocre performance and let Poland beat you.
Well, I can see the teams are lining up in the tunnel. They are making their way out now. So let's hand you over to your commentary team. Darren Bent is alongside Ian Danta.
Thank you, Natalie, and a very good afternoon to you from the Olympia Stadion in Berlin as we prepare to bring you our 450th live football commentary since the Talksport network brought you the start of the Women's World Cup back in July 2023. And it is truly a sea of red and white wherever you look around this stadium. The national colours match between these two nations. Austria will be in red, Poland will be in white for this crucial second fixture. The Turkish referee has led out the two sets of players who are standing with their mascots now, all in a line, ready for the national anthems. And we will start with the national anthem of the Austrians. to the anthems come up on the giant screens, but Darren Bent was not keen to join in with any karaoke here with the Austrian national anthem. Now for the national anthem of Poland. I think Poland win the battle of the anthems in terms of the volume. There's smoke drifting across from the right-hand side as we look, because the Polish fans lit about maybe a dozen or so red flares to accompany their national anthem. Now the players shake hands and we're getting ready for the action. Well, back at the end of 2023, both Poland and Austria will have known as soon as the draw for these group stages was made just how significant this second game was for both. And after the Poles lost to the Netherlands and the Austrians were edged out by the French, this game is even more must-win for these two nations than it was before a ball was kicked. Although ultimately, defeat for either today does not mean the end of their Euro campaign quite yet. Michael Probier suffered defeat for the first time as coach of Poland in that 2-1 defeat to the Dutch in Hamburg, whilst Ralf Rangnick saw his Austrians lose their first in 7 against Mbappe and co. The big team news question beforehand centred inevitably around Poland's record caps holder and goalscorer Robert Lewandowski, who missed Sunday's opener with a thigh strain. He has still not been risked by the Poles here, but there are 4 changes made. Solomon, Sebastian Szymanski, Romanchuk and Urbanski drop out. Davidovich, Slic, Piotrowski and Piontek come in. It's Wojciech Szczesny in goal for Poland. A back three of Jan Bednarek, Pavel Davidovich and Jakub Kiwior. Przemysław Frankowski, Bartosz Slic, Jakub Piotrowski, Piotr Zielinski and Nikola Zalewski are the 5 across midfield. Adam Buksha, who scored against the Netherlands on his competitive debut, plays alongside Krzysztof Piontek in attack, with a full complement of substitutes, including Mr. Lewandowski. Austria shaded possession and completed more passes than the French on Monday night, but only 5 shots. Maybe that's why former Stoke and West Ham forward Marko Arnautovic has been brought in to win his 114th cap this evening. He replaces Michael Gregoric in attack. The other 2 changes for Austria are both at centre-half. Kevin Danso and Max Berber, who scored the own goal that got the 3 points for the French, they're both dropped. Gernot Trauner and Philipp Lienhart come in. So Patrick Pence in goal for the Austrians, Stefan Posch, Gernot Trauner, Philipp Lienhart and Philipp Maweny in the back 4, Nicholas Seiwald and Florian Grilic in midfield, Konrad Laimer, Christoph Baumgartner and Marcel Sabitzer behind Marko Arnautovic. And Gerhard Aigner, titan of Austrian football, is to be remembered with a brief moment of reflection here as both squads line up around the centre circle to commemorate his passing before kick-off here in Berlin. And everyone stands around us to remember Gerhard Aigner. little burst of applause accompany that moment of reflection for Gerhard Aigner. Our referee is Umut Miller from Turkey. Paolo Valeri of Italy is the VAR for this one. It's my first visit to the Olympiastadion on the outskirts of Berlin. It truly takes your breath away on first viewing. This is where the final takes place on July 14th, live on Talksport, and it's such an imposing place. The huge curves at either end of the stadium. The curve to my left famously has that gap in the middle of it, the Marathon Gate, where the Olympic flame burned during the 1936 Games. 2000 to 2004 saw a massive renovation of this stadium in readiness for the World Cup in 2006. The pitch in front of us was lowered by around 9 feet to help with the maximum possible seating capacity, which is around 75,000. Home to second-tier Hertha Berlin since 1963. Used by Union Berlin for Champions League matches last season. Now it sees Poland and Austria go head-to-head, desperate to recover from the 0-0, the nil point that they both had at the start of this group. And it's Austria in red shirts and socks and black shorts. They're kicking from right to left towards their supporters in that end that has the Marathon Gate and the gap in it. Poland in all white heading to their supporters away to our right-hand side. An early chance for Filip Mwene to send a cross in. Actually finds Sabitzer, who pulls it back from the dead ball line, and Poland clear it out for an early throw as Austria try and pressurise their opponents early on. 0-0, Darren Bent.
Yeah, really good start there from Austria in that 4-2-3-1 formation, which we saw them have a bit of joy against France. Didn't get the result, but I thought they played really well. And Poland's 3-5-2. But again, it's Austria that have got off to the best of starts.
Filip Mwene with a throw, looking for Arnautovic. It's headed away back to Mwene down the left-hand side. Poland will defend, and Frankowski tries to get to the ball first, but it's one back, and it's with Austria's Nicholas Seiwald in midfield, and then an ambitious effort from distance by Stefan Posch bounces through to the former Arsenal keeper Wojciech Szczesny. Minute gone, 0-0. There's still the remnants of that smoke drifting across the stadium. Pretty sultry afternoon. Alex Crook, our chief football correspondent, got soaked outside, which pleased Darren Bent greatly. But the clouds have cleared, and it's actually temperature's not quite as oppressive and as humid as it was earlier.
Do you know, it's a shame that, because we're under some nice roof in here, and the hopes were that Crookie was still outside and it was still hammering down with rain, but unfortunately that don't seem to be the case.
You can't have everything, Darren. Well, when he midway point of his own half for Austria, 0-0. Just underway here on Talksport at the Olympiastadion in Berlin between Poland and Austria. Two countries separated only by the Czech Republic in between them. Earlier today, Ukraine got their 3 points on the board. You heard it on Talksport 2 as they beat Slovakia, coming from behind to win 2-1. That really tightens up that group. If Belgium win tomorrow against Romania, all 4 teams will be on 3 points going into the last round of fixtures. Austria have possession, and it's with their number 20, Konrad Laimer, trying to work it out to the right-hand side for Stefan Posch. He's got the better of his defender Zalewski, but then a brilliant covering challenge by Jakub Kiwior for Poland allowed the Poles to get it clear up to halfway, but Trauner steps in front of Buksha, but commits a foul, and that's a free kick to Poland just shy of halfway. 0-0 with 2.5 gone.
Do you know what? I really like the way that Austria have started this game. They were really good against France to get the result, but they've come out of there with that same confidence, trying to move the ball, trying to play a little bit more direct to Marko Arnautovic, trying to play in Poland's half, and they're the better team at the minute that have settled down really, really quickly. I mean, if you can get the ball into Arnautovic's feet, I think he can cause you a problem, but Sabitza's getting involved there. Christoph Garner as well, he's got involved as well, but I really like the start from Austria.
Poland have the ball at the back with their back three. Pavel Davidovic, one of the changes made today, works it up to halfway, but it's one back quickly and fired forward by Baumgartner. Arnautovic trying to collect the ball from Sabitzer, right-hand corner of the box, but the ball just too high for him to collect, and it drifts behind for a goal kick to Poland. These nations have only qualified out of the group stages once in their Euros history. For Poland, that was 2016, where they reached the quarter-finals and lost on penalties to the eventual winners, Portugal. Austria qualified last time out when it was Euro 2021, and myself and Natalie saw them lose to Italy after extra time at Wembley in the round of 16. Szczesny smacks the goal kick downfield for Poland, right-footed. from away to our left-hand side. Arnautovic wins the strong header, and now he knelt it out to the left-hand side for Sabitzer. Sabitzer, left-hand corner of the area, looks to clip it down to Arnautovic, right-hand side. The first touch is awkward, but he's managed to work it back to the right-hand side for Stefan Posch. Posch with the ball into the box. Sabitzer goes in for a header, but it's cleared away by Frankowski for the first corner of the game to the Austrians away to our left. 0-0.
Big chance there. I mean, Sabitzer does really well. First of all, it's Marko Arnautovic using his body, holding the ball. He lays a really nice ball to Sabitzer, who clips one to the back post. And I'm thinking to Arnautovic, just volley it. He tries to control it, and I don't think it was on. I think in that type of situation where it just drops over the defender's head, just hit it. Opportunity gone.
So a right-footed in-swinging corner to come down to our left-hand side from Marcel Sabitzer. Deep to the far post. Szczesny tries to punch and just punches it almost straight up in the air. Comes back, though, to Sabitzer. On the left-hand side for Austria. Has to work it back to Mwene. And he'll go back to halfway and find one of the other changes. Nicholas Seiwald will now pick it up for Austria. Mwene looks for Sabitzer, tight to this near touchline. Well intercepted, though, by Zalewski, and he's trying to motor down the right-hand side. Piontek felt he was taken down, and the referee agrees with him, and he's going to have a little word with Philipp Lienhardt, the centre-half, about the challenge. It'll end up with Poland having a free kick 10 yards inside Austrian territory, 0-0 with 5 gone.
Really good play there from Piontek, and that's what Poland, I think, are going to have to do. They're going to have to be patient. Like they did against the Netherlands in the first game. They know they're not going to have enough possession.
Free kick taken quickly into the area, but Lienhardt just keeps Piontek away from the ball with a gentle little nudge. And the free kick comes to nothing. 0-0. Carry on, Dan.
Yeah, as I was saying now, I think Poland have to be patient. Just like the Netherlands had a lot of possession, have to sit in their shape, defend really well. It might be the same today, because certainly in the first 5 minutes it's been all Austria. They're dominating possession. They're trying to play in Poland's half. They've got to stay tight. They've got to stay compact. And as they did there, try and hit Austria on the counter-attack.
You're listening to Talksport at Euro 2024. And the Netherlands and the French will be interested onlookers as they arrive at their stadium in Leipzig for the game that comes straight after this. Joe Shannon, Chris Owolamo and Hugh Wozencroft, your team, to bring you Netherlands against French after this game completes. But Austria just won a free kick, about 10 yards inside the Polish half this time. And it's quickly spotted down by Florian Grilic, and he's actually going to leave it Grilic for Marcel Sabitzer. It's out to the left of centre, not quite the midway point of the Polish half, and Poland are holding quite a high line beyond the edge of the D. It's just to the left of centre. Sabitzer flicks it to the far post, and it's too high for any of the centre halves, and it's a goal kick to Poland, 0-0.
I never really like free kicks in that part of the pitch, because certainly for a delivery like that, an in-swinger delivery like that, because there's not enough of an angle. It's not wide enough to be able to pull it into that space. And normally what ends up happening is what happened there with Sabitzer. He goes to clip it to the back post, everyone misses it, and it bounces out of play. I'd rather them get one pass in first, just to create more of an angle. Then if it goes back to him, then he puts it back in. But putting it straight in, it never really works out well from there.
Polish goal kick, 0-0, 7 gone. And Szczesny sends it down the centre of the field. Up went Piontek, but the ball came back the Austrians' way, and it's clipped forward by their right back Stefan Posch, and Arnautovic trying to hold the ball up, and he was taken down by the defender Pavel Davidovic, and that's a free kick to Austria on the right hand side, again about 5-10 yards in from the far touchline and not quite in the middle of the half, and it's similar position on the other side of the field to what you were just talking about, Darren Bett.
Yeah, I think an outswinger from this position is better, because then it doesn't go out for a goal kick. I mean, if everyone misses it goes out for a throw-on, but this first 7 minutes, Arnautovic has done that so well, used his body, drew fouls. He's going to have to do that all evening.
Sabitzer standing over the free kick again. Once again, it's a high line from Poland. In it comes from Sabitzer, fired into the near post, and it drifts out to the right-hand side, and it's with Konrad Laimer. Gives it back to Sabitzer, works it across to Mwene, about 25 yards out, now to the left wing, and it's a good touch from Posch, and then Mwene is taken down, but it's a throw-in that's been given. 10 yards from the corner flag on this near side. Austria have been dominating these opening 8 minutes, but it's still 0-0 on Talksport.
They need to score in this period, and as we saw it against France, where they had a lot of possession, didn't create that many opportunities, and didn't take their chances, ultimately got beat. I think in a game like this against Poland, you have to score first. I think it's vital in this game you score first.
Mwene with a long throw for Austria into the box. Trauner tried to get the flick on. Comes back to Mwene. Can get to the byline. What's the cross like? Decent. Trauner! 1-0 Austria! Brilliant header at the near post! Credit to Mwene for keeping the ball alive down the left-hand side of the box. The cross into the near post, and a really clever header from Gernot Trauner at the near post, beats the Chesney, and Austria hit the front in Berlin. It's Poland 0, Austria 1.
What a header that is, but the ball from Filip Mwene is what causes the goal. I mean, they keep it in there. First of all, Mwene has a long throw, it gets clear, they don't deal with it well, Poland, but then when it comes back in, great first touch, he doesn't try and smash it across, he just drops it into an area, and Trauner, what a header that is, because it's a little bit behind him, he's got to generate the power, he manages to get up early, direct it kind of almost back where it comes from, into that near post top corner, and that is an unbelievable header.
Into the side and straight onto the goal scoring sheet for Gernot Trauner, who plays his club football for Feyenoord in the Netherlands. And a great start and a deserved lead for Austria, Darren Bent.
Yeah, it is, and that's what had to happen. I mean, they had this period against France, didn't take the opportunities they were so dominant in this first 10 minutes.
Now here's a chance for Sabitzer as the ball suddenly breaks to him inside the box, but it was an important block from Davidovic, who got it away from danger. And Austria are not settling on a one-goal lead. Funny that.
No, they can't. They're going to have to go and get more. And what I've liked in this first 10 minutes, not only the quality that Austria have shown, but they've been really brave. They've said to Sabitzer, stay high. They said to Konrad Lehmer, stay high. Don't track your runners too much. Stay high. Let them worry about you. And that's been a source of outlet for the Austrians so far in this first 10 minutes.
Now Buksha tries to work his way down the inside right channel for Poland as the Poles try and respond to that early goal. Trauner, the goal scorer, in possession in front of his own 18-yard line. Finds Posch, who rolls it up the right-hand side to Christoph Baumgartner. Back for his goalkeeper. I think that's the first touch that Patrick Pence has had, the Austrian goalkeeper. And it's a first-time clearance downfield. And now Michael Probierz, one of the best-dressed coaches in the game, the Polish manager, has got plenty to ponder. His team already a goal down. Remember, they took the lead, Poland, against the Netherlands in Hamburg when me and Darren were there just 5 or 6 days ago. Here's Grilic for Austria, finding Mwene, who created the first, darting towards the left-hand corner of the area. Sabitzer in support, but Mwene swings it to the far post, looking for Arnautovic, and it was cleared away once again by Pavel Davidovic. Kept in play on the far side, and that's good skill by Zalewski, who charges into the Austrian half. Buksha's moved into an offside position. They tried to thread it out to the left-hand side to find Piotrowski, but Austria win it back to huge applause from the fans away to our left in that curve who support the Austrians. 1-0, they lead with 11 minutes gone.
I've been really impressed with Austria. Not only the way they win the ball back as well, but how calm they are in the final third. And Marko Arnautovic, he's made all the difference in this early part. He's getting the ball to feet, he's using his body, and I think because he's drawn the first couple of fouls from like Jan Bednarek and Jakub Kiwior, they don't want to go anywhere near him anymore, so they're letting him control the ball, and he's pretty much got them where he wants them.
Poland 0, Austria 1. Poland coming forward in the centre of midfield with Piotr Zielinski, their captain, but his ball down the centre of the pitch is straight to Florian Grilic, and Austria trying to counter. Konrad Lehmer runs into difficulty, and Jan Bednarek of Southampton guides the ball back to Szczesny, and he elects to clip it out to the left-hand side for Jakub Kiwior.
I can understand the frustration from the fans there because they've not had much possession, and when the ball goes into Piontek, he's got to hold it. We've seen Marko Arnautovic the other end. Every single time the ball goes into his feet, he's holding it, he's bringing others into play, and that's bringing Austria up the pitch. When it went into Piontek there, he had no pressure on the ball, just gave it away. You can't do that in a game like this. Your team needs a result. You've got to hang on to it.
That's Darren Bent. You can hear alongside me Ian Danter, Darren, the former England international, here on Talksport, where Austria had the lead, scoring their earliest ever goal at European Championships, and earliest since the '54 World Cup when they scored twice versus Czechoslovakia inside 4 minutes. Here they come again with Sabitzer, left-hand corner of the area. His clipped crosses comfortably cleared this time by Bednarek, but Buksha just couldn't hold on to the ball, and it's come back to Austria once more, although they do have to work it back into the centre circle for Gernot Trauner, the goal scorer, and he goes back to his goalkeeper Patrick Pence.
They've got to get hold of it. Buchka and Piontek, they've got to get hold of it, because the back four and the midfield two are working so hard to try and win the ball back. They're struggling as it is. When it goes up to you with no pressure, you've got to hold on to it just to give the midfield players and the centre halves and your back lines a chance to get up the pitch, and then you can play in the Austrian half. If you keep playing 1-on-2 touch and giving it away, they're going to be defending all night.
Another early goal at Euro 2024. We've been spoilt with that during the course of these championships already. And only one team left who haven't scored yet, Darren.
Oh, is there one?
Think who that is.
I'll get that before the end of the 90 minutes.
Mwene down the left-hand side for Austria. 14 minutes gone. Just clips it backwards of square to Florian Grilic. Back into the centre circle for Trauner. Good searching pass through the centre of the field for Baumgartner, who finds Arnautovic at the edge of the D. And Arnautovic tried a reverse ball, looking for the run, I think, of Stefan Posch down the right flank for Austria, but it was too far ahead of him. In Poland have got a goal kick, and they've got work to do. They've got to sort things out on that pitch there, the Polish, because they're one down and they're being dominated.
Yeah, they are. And again, they're not holding on to the ball. They're not playing with any real intensity. The centre forward and the midfield players, there's no connection there. They're not playing together, not pressing as a team. These are all things you're going to have to do, certainly to get yourself back into a game against a side they're as good as Austria.
And they're coming forward again, Austria. It's Sabitzer down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Feeds it back to Mwene. Now Grilic, 25 yards out. Goes along the deck to Konrad Laimer at the edge of the area. Hurried, desperate clearance from Poland. Really look like they're struggling to repel these Austrian attacks. Sabitzer again. Tormentor-in-chief down the left-hand side. Works it back in field to Grilic. Mwene. Back out to Sabitzer again. Frankowski trying to prevent the cross. Also support down that left-hand side from Florian Grilic. Still haven't got the cross in. Only really Arnautovic waiting for a cross inside that 18-yard box. So Austria go back to the halfway line. 1-0 they lead. Yeah,
it's quite clever from Sabitzer there. He didn't want to just throw it in the box for the sake of it. He wanted to hold on to possession. But again, if you look how high the Austrian front line is, you've got Arnautovic who's right on the last shoulder, Sabitzer, Konrad Laimer, Christoph Baumgartner. They're all up there in that like a four along the middle of the pitch. The Polish have got to do something about it. They've got to either squeeze them up. They can't just defend deep all game, because Austrians will have possession of the ball 90% of the time.
Kivior gives the ball away, and here come Austria again, and it's with their midfielder Seiwald. Ball into the box, looking for Sabitzer, try to get his foot in front of Frankowski and get a shot towards goal, but it was comfortably saved by Szczesny. And here come Poland. We played 16 minutes on Talksport. Austria lead by a goal to 0. But here is Piątek, one of the players brought in today by Michael Probius, but still no Lewandowski. He waits on the bench. Zielinski works it up to Buksha at the edge of the area, runs past a couple of challenges, finds Zielinski edge of the area, quick feed, gets the shot away, blocked by Mwene, claims for handball. Nothing doing, says the referee, but I'm guessing VAR will have a look. They're claiming Zielinski that the ball struck Philip Mwene, I reckon, on its way to goal. It certainly hit him on the arm from the replay we've just seen, Darren Bent.
Yeah, I mean, he's 2 yards away and he's absolutely smashed it as hard as he can. I mean, I'm not quite sure where Philip Mwene is supposed to put his arm.
Yeah, it was ball to hand, or ball to arm rather than arm to ball. Certainly not in a natural position, as I think the law states.
I don't know what natural and unnatural means anymore, Dan, to tell you that.
Probably for the best. Zalewski down the left-hand side wins a throw off Posch. 17 minutes gone. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Must win for both these nations, and it's Austria who've got their noses in front here at the Olympiastadion in Berlin, but Poland have it at the edge of the area, but Grilic intercepts to keep it away from Piotrowski. It's still with the Poles out on the left-hand side. Kivior goes in field to find Jakub Piotrowski, lays it off to Bednarek. Bednarek spots Butcher making a run. Also Piątek brings the ball down at the edge of the area, plays it out to Frankowski, right wing, comes into the area, drops for Zalewski at the far post, and he's blasted out over the bar, and he knows that's a big chance. Nobody around him. The ball dropped for him about 15 yards out, left-hand side of the penalty area, but he ballooned his shot way over. Big chance for Poland to equalise.
Yeah, huge chance. But he had all the time in the world. But not only that, he could have taken a touch, because the cross that came to him, it was bouncing, it was awkward. Bit of composure there. Just take your first touch out your feet. He had a pretty much freedom of the box. Just controlled finish into that far corner. He tried to go for glory first time, and he's got it all wrong. But that's better from Poland. Patient, holding on to possession, taking care with your passes.
Well, they were in decent form, both nations, prior to their match day 1 defeats. So Poland showing a bit more of the form that their fans have been used to under Michael Probius. He was undefeated before the Netherlands won that game in Hamburg, the new Polish coach. That was 8 games he'd steered them through without defeat. Here's Mwene finding Sabitzer for Austria, level with the edge of the area, left-hand side. 19 minutes gone on Talksport, 1-0 to the Austrians. Mwene again, midway point of the half, but tight to this near touchline, with Austria in their red shirts attacking the end to our left where the Austrian fans are. Grilic plays it backwards of square neatly for Trauner. Now Seiwald will give it back to the goal scorer. Trauner in the centre circle, just keeps the ball away from Buksha. And now Lienhardt, who under pressure from Piontek, works the ball back to Patrick Pence, only winning his 8th cap tonight, the Austrian goalkeeper. Twice goalkeeper of the season for Austria. Now plays his club football with Bromby in Sweden. His father was a goalkeeper as well, so the apple didn't fall very far from the tree there. Here is Baumgartner for Austria. Swings it out to the left-hand side, and Mwene and Sabitzer seeing a lot of the ball down this near side for Austria. Sabitzer again sends Mwene away on the overlap. Deep cross to the far post beyond Arnautovic. And Posch came in trying to get a shot on goal, but caught the defender at the same time. And that'll be a free kick inside their own penalty area to Poland. 20 minutes gone on Talksport. Poland 0, Austria 1. Here's former England striker Darren Bent.
Yeah, you said they're Mwene and Sabitzer. I mean, they're playing. They must have touched the ball more than anyone else on the pitch on this left-hand side. Really getting it, little 1-2s. Really trying to be inventive when they get the ball, but at the minute maybe just lacking a little bit of movement. I mean, they started off so sharp the first 10 minutes. There was movement everywhere. Just the last 5 minutes they've been getting the ball, looking up. There's been no real target to hit. When he's looking up to cross it, there's no one in there. He's having to come back. But again, from Poland's perspective defensively, the ball went backwards and they all squeezed up the pitch, and I think they're going to have to do that. Latch on to the Austrian players, because if you do that, you win the ball high up, then you're at their back line.
Good skill from both Sabitzer and Mwene defensively on this near side. Now, ball over the top for Baumgartner. Szczesny has to come way out of his area. And then his headed clearance almost landed for Arnautovic. But Poland have survived, and in the end, the ball hits the head of Sabitzer and goes out for a throw to Poland deep in their own half, right by the corner flag. And suddenly Baumgartner just broken behind the Polish defence there for Austria.
Fair play to Szczesny. Came in out, reading the situation, doing what all good goalkeepers should do. Sweep up, and he got a good defensive header as well, because he heads it up in the air, so that gives him enough time, if the worst came to the worst, for him to get back into his goal. Really intelligent goalkeeping.
Trauner gets it back to the Austrian goalkeeper Pence. Trauner again finds his fellow centre-half Philipp Lienhardt of Freiburg. Gets up to the halfway line. Grilic takes over, actually gives it back to Lienhardt in the end. And Austria just slowing the game down at the moment as we approach the midway point of the first half here at this magnificent Olympiastadion in Berlin, where the final will take place on the 14th of July. You'll hear it here, of course, live on Talksport once we get to commentary number 470 odd, or whatever it'll be by the time we get to July the 14th, because today is our 450th. And yes, I am including the Talksport All-Stars match in that 450. Here's Marko Arnautovic for Austria, finding Baumgartner at the edge of the area, flicks it through. Arnautovic brings a brilliant save out of Szczesny. Offside flag goes up anyway. Great combination play between Christoph Baumgartner and Marko Arnautovic. But when Baumgartner slipped the ball back through to his captain, Arnautovic was just running offside. Well, not just offside, he's well offside, looking at that replay, Darren.
Yeah, and listen, Szczesny wasn't to know it's a great save, but yeah, Marko Arnautovic, really intelligent, just dropping into that pocket of space, just dropping it off to Christoph Baumgartner, and then going again. I think there was a slight nick on the pass, which is what took the pace out of it, which allowed him to run offside Marko Arnautovic. But I like the link up between Sabitzer, certainly Philipp Mwene, and Marko Arnautovic.
Ball given away by Austria on the halfway line. Poland coming forward. It's sent out to the right-hand side, and Frankowski. Now down the right-hand side, a chance for Slisz to get the cross in. It's headed away only as far as Zielinski with a drive, and it smacks into the toes of Lienhardt and comes back Austrians' way. And it's cleared downfield by Posch up to halfway and headed out of play by Davidovic for a throw to Austria. It's just a bit lax from the Austrians, giving the ball away, and Zielinski arguably their most creative player, Poland, just couldn't profit from it.
Yeah, it looks like if Poland are going to get anything from this game, or get themselves back into the game, should I say, Zielinski's going to be the one to kind of get them back into that. But I think that comes from Poland now stepping onto Austria. I think the first 10-15 minutes, a little bit of nerves in there. They stood off them, they let them do what they want. Just now they've moved up 10 yards up the pitch, and now every single time the ball goes into midfield, there's a Polish midfield player going there, pressing, trying to win the ball back, and they've just managed to just unnerve a little bit the Austrians at the minute, certainly in possession.
That's 15 goals in the opening 20 minutes of games at these European Championships. So what are we today? This is match number 19 of the tournament. That's a staggering statistic of early goals. And Gernot Trauner, the latest of them. England currently in T20 World Cup action, taking on South Africa. Let's get an update from Talksport's John Norman.
Target 164 for England to effectively make it through to the semi-final stages. 1 over in, 8 without loss. England were brilliant with the ball and perfect in the field. Some outstanding fielding. And they've restricted South Africa to 163 for 6. In reply, 9 without loss.
Thank you, John. Keep you updated with that from the Super 8s in the T20 World Cup. 25 minutes gone here at the Olympiastadion in Berlin. You're listening to Talksport. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you. Poland 0, Austria 1 in that group that also contains the Netherlands and France. And stay with Talksport after this game. We'll take you straight to Leipzig for the Netherlands against the French. Hugh Woosencroft, your host, Joe Shannon and Chris Iwelumo, your commentary team for that game.
Obviously I can't hear from here, but when I had a little look down there, Lewandowski was having a really intense conversation with the manager of Poland. I don't know if what he's saying to him, and maybe it's a little bit early, we're only 25 minutes in, but it looked very interesting.
Yeah, Lewandowski was pronounced at least fit, and he was on the bench in that first game, wasn't he, Darren, against the Netherlands, and we wondered whether he would be deployed at any stage. He wasn't, but you just get the feeling with an extra couple of days of preparation and training under his belt, he might be unleashed at some point. Poland needs something because they're 1-0 down here. Frankowski on this near touchline gets up to the halfway line for Poland, but his ball in field is so easy for Trauner just to collect on his instep and find a teammate. And once again, a Polish attack comes to nothing, but Austria give the ball back to Poland on halfway. Frankowski with a crossfield ball looking for Zalewski, but Stefan Posch, the right fullback for Austria, gets there first and puts it out for a Poland throw. 1-0 Austria.
Yeah, Poland just starting to get themselves back into this game now, but as I said, pressing up the pitch high, dominating possession a little bit, but again, that last little bit there from Piontek, right quality into slits. They've got a chance as a shot, a goal, but just overhitting the pass, and that's almost summed up Poland in the first part of this half.
Zielinski finds Zalewski left wing, pulls it back to the edge of the area, running of a slit, leaves it for Zielinski, right footy drive, headed up in the air and away by Lienhardt. Important block, because I think that Zielinski drive was on target for Poland. Austria only get it clear up towards the halfway line, and Poland have it back. Bartosz Slis slides it up to the edge of the area, might make its way through to Piontek, but Piontek was too strong in the challenge against Lienhardt, and that's a free kick to the Austrians. You can hear what the Polish fans think about that decision. 27 gone on Talksport at the Euros. Poland 0, Austria 1.
Yeah, it's definitely a foul on Lienhardt. He does really well. He covers that area really well. Gets across the ground quick. And just as Piontek's probably about to pull the trigger, just comes from nowhere and gets his body in. But again, we're speaking about Zielinski. He's just picking up that little area just outside, just behind the front two. And every single time the ball drops down, he's there and he picks it up.
I guess we shouldn't have been surprised that Austria found the net. They had scored in 17 consecutive matches before that 1-0 defeat to the French. And they have the advantage here in Berlin. But it's Poland in possession inside their own half with Davidovich. Chips the ball back to his goalkeeper Szczesny, and he will pass calmly out to Jan Bednarek. Crossfield ball from Bednarek, trying to get Piontek away down the centre of the field, but again, that's so easy for Trauner to deal with. Just lets the ball skim across his forehead to get it back to his goalkeeper, and then Mwene hooks the ball from left back down the Austrian left, looking for Sabitzer. Comes off Jan Bednarek's back, and that's well tidied up by Jakub Piotrowski in the midfield. So Szczesny's clearance finds Frankowski, right wing back, and then Piotrowski is nudged by Konrad Lima right in front of the referee, and that's a free kick to Poland. And they need something to hang on to, the Polish fans here. They don't want to get too frustrated too soon, but so far, Patrick Pence has yet to have a save to make. He might have problems here because Frankowski's in behind, right-hand side of the area, into the near post. Brilliant defending to put it behind for a corner. Lienhardt had to make it at the near post, but it is a Polish corner. 1-0 Austria.
Do you know what Frankowski does really well there, but you know there's no movement, and that's why they don't get an opportunity on goal. No one really goes to the back post. No one tries to dart across the near post. No one pulls out to the penalty spot to cut it back. They all just kind of amble in there, all hidden behind Austrian defenders, and that's why they don't get an attempt on goal.
Poland's goal against the Netherlands came from a corner. Zielinski takes the corner deep to the far post. It's headed out to the centre of the half. Zalewski picks it up. Thought about a shot just for a moment from way downtown, but he gives it back out to Zielinski, right-hand side. Good left-footed ball into the far post. It's nodded up in the air. Comes down left-hand side. Surely it's an equaliser. It's blocked, but the equaliser does come. It's 1-1. And Krzysztof Piątek, brought into the side by Michael Proviers, has equalised for Poland. It's all square in Berlin. Bang on half an hour. The first shot from the edge of the area, I think from Bednarek, looked goal-bound, it was blocked, came straight out to Piątek, and he slotted it neatly past Pence to make it Poland 1, Austria 1.
Yeah, it's probably no more than it deserves. Certainly the last 10 minutes they've been done really well. I mean, the cross comes in again from Zielinski. We said about his quality with his left foot. It's knocked down to the back post, and it bounces around from Jakub Kivio. Bednarek hits the first one, he thinks it's a goal, but to be fair, Piątek, he's done that, all that he's done all season, scoring an amount of goals for his club side. Really good finish. He reacts first as it bounces back to him. He takes that first touch out of his feet and just guides that finish low past Pence. Really good finish, and again, for the last 10 minutes, that's no more than Poland deserves. I thought they've been the better side. They've really gone and pressed Austria and caused them a lot of problems.
Yeah, 17 goals in the Turkish league for Istanbul Başakşehir. And now he's scored his 12th goal for his country to bring us level on Talksport. With half an hour gone in Berlin, it's back in the melting pot. Austria 1, Poland 1. And we're still waiting for the game to restart. I don't know whether there's a VAR check going on. I don't know. Don't think so. Nothing wrong about that goal.
No.
You could have even accused an Austrian player of a handball from Bednarek's shot if you wanted to be really picky about it, but it's all semantics. It's 1-1.
That goal there comes from Zielinski. I mean, he was the one who put the left foot cross in. A lot of people in that situation on their weaker side might go, do you know what? I'll take the easy option. I'll pass it back to the defender. He goes back to the goalkeeper. He's like, no. He pulls it onto his left foot, clips it right to the back post, and Jakub Kivio making that big run at the back. But again, it's all about Piątek. He just reacts really well. It's bouncing around. He's the one who's been in form all season for his club side. Shifts it with the first touch, and his controlled finish into the corner. Really nice finish. It's instinct finish.
And he knows this stadium well. He played for Hertha here as part of his career. Il Pistolero, he's known as. And he's brought Poland level. But here come Austria through Maweny down the left-hand side. At the left-hand corner of the penalty area, jockeying for position. Sent across to the far post. And Stefan Posch pushing in once again from right back. Can't get the header on the ball. He was well marshalled, in fairness, by Nikola Zalewski. Poland have a goal kick. It's 1-1. And now the Polish fans away to our right, Darren Bent, are a good deal noisier.
Well, they've seen their side start to play a little bit better, and what they have done, they've adjusted really well, because the first part of the game, we saw Maweny and Sabitzer doing exactly what they wanted on this left-hand side. They've just shifted a little bit. They've brought back in obviously Zalewski's having to go back in there a little bit just to help out, and all of a sudden now, when the ball comes to the left-hand side, there's no target to hit. There's no little 1-2s. They're having to go back and back. So that's well played from the Poland team.
1-1 on Talksport, 32 minutes played. Don't forget, we'll take you to Leipzig at the end of this game to see how the other two teams in this group get on. Big clash between the Netherlands and France coming up at 8 on Talksport. It's a free kick to Austria that's just been awarded to them 20 yards, 25 yards maybe inside the Polish half of the field, just to the right of centre. Sabitzer, as always, is on the set pieces for Austria. Poland defending their 18-yard line. Sabitzer clips it to the far post. Lienhardt tries to drive it goalwards, but ended up driving it across the face of goal and well outside the penalty area on the far side of the field. And Zalewski hits it against an Austrian player and wins a throw. You're listening to Euro Game Day Live on Talksport, presented by Burger King. bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Darren Bent provided food satisfaction for us by spending, I don't want to tell you how much he spent on pick and mix outside the ground, but I think the bloke's just shut up shop and gone home.
I can't confirm or deny that.
I think he said, that's it, that's enough business for today.
I've never seen someone shut down so quickly.
He knew he wasn't going to get any better. 1-1 with 11 minutes to half-time. Crossfield ball from Poland, but no one forward in the right wing-back position. Frankowski had stayed on the halfway line, so Mawene could head the ball back to his goalkeeper, Pence.
It's really like a game of cat and mouse, and I really like it because Sabitzer, the first part of the half, he was not, I wouldn't say cheating a little bit, but he was being brave, standing a little bit higher, not tranking Frankowski. All of a sudden now, Frankowski's doing the exact same thing to him. Okay, if you're going to go in there, I'm going to do the exact same, and that's where the opportunity came from the corner, which they scored from.
Well, again, it's styles make fights, isn't it, Darren? You've got 3-5-2 against 4-2-3-1, and there's always going to be gaps somewhere that either side can exploit at certain times.
Exactly, it's whether you can exploit it or not, or see where that opportunity is. Right now, the first 10 minutes was about Mawene and Sabitzer. Now it's about Frankowski on this side as well. So at some point, Austria are going to have to adapt or adjust, because the last 10 minutes have been all Poland, and it's all come down this right-hand side.
10 minutes to half-time on Talksport in Berlin. 1-1 between Poland and Austria. Austria, who took the lead, coming forward and swing a ball to the aforementioned Philipp Mawene, the left-back of Mainz, who plays his club football then in the Bundesliga. Work back to the halfway line, and the goal scorer for Austria, Trauner. Good ball from Seiwald out to the left-hand side, looking for Sabitzer, but it's well defended by Frankowski. It's a throw for Mawene to take. It's a long throw right to the centre of the half, and touchdown by Baumgartner, but a poor pass from Seiwald. Frankowski has it back for Poland and tries to immediately to release Piontek down the right-hand side. Out comes Pence and clears downfield. Stays in play, despite me thinking it was going out for a throw at first. No, it does go out for a throw after a poor touch from Slits. Piontek, apparently, translated into English, means Friday. What day is it today?
Oh.
Yeah. Tempting fate there, wasn't it? So it's 1-1 with Trauner and Piontek the scorers.
What happens if he plays on a Saturday?
Don't ask me that. Here's Trauner, just out of the centre circle. Finds Grilic for Austria, but it won't get through that Polish back line, and away comes Piotrowski, the central midfielder, wearing number 6 for Poland. Out to Zalewski, left-hand side, and he drills a pass to the other wing-back, Frankowski. But that's good, brave defending from Mawene, who headed it clear, and he was fouled by Frankowski as he got the header in, even though Frankowski's lying on the turf, appearing to have come off worst. 1-1.
Yeah, brave from Mawene there, because he knew he was going to get clattered. I mean, to be fair, he does a good job of getting his head out the way, but really brave from him there. But again, looking at that header, honestly, the goal from Trainer, it's one of those where you'll be pushed to see a better header in this competition, because it's behind him. There's not really that much pace on the ball. He's having to jump early, but he just directs it almost back where it comes from, into that near top corner. It's such a, and if you're a centre forward and you score a header like that, you're thinking, what a goal that is.
Shouldn't forget that despite the fact that he's injured and not in the squad, David Alaba is down there as part of Austria's coaching staff as a rabble-rouser more than anything else. An ACL he picked up in December means that he's not here for Austria, and he's such an important part. Can play centre-back, centre-mid, left-back. He's all-purpose, but he's not fit enough to be part of things. But I'm sure he's brilliant in the dressing room to help motivate these Austrian players. But they've been pegged back here by Poland. And we've got 7 minutes of normal time remaining in this first half on Talksport at the European Championship. Austria trying to get the ball out of their own defensive third, and it's a good ball to find Seiwald down the right-hand side, but it's intercepted by Kivior, and Poland have it back. It's worked up to Buksha, but Trauner got his foot in, even though Buksha went down. No foul, and here come Austria, 3-on-2 for a moment. It's Baumgartner going through the middle, clips it left to Sabitzer, shifts his feet, the drive hits Bednarek and goes away from danger from the Polish point of view. 3-on-2 break did not work there for Austria, but they still have possession. Mawene will roll it back to Lienhardt. In it goes to Nicholas Seiwald. Grilic back out to Maweny, left-hand side. Wasted opportunity there, Darren Bent, for Austria.
I thought Baumgartner chose the wrong option. I mean, I know he's gone to Sabitzer, who's broke down on this left-hand side, but he's right-footed, so he was always going to have to come back onto his right foot, and that was going to condense the space. The pass was to Arnautovic, who was full flow running forward. All Arnautovic would have had to do is take a touch at his feet and hit it, but Sabitzer was always going to have to come back into opportunity gone.
Baumgartner again tries to find Arnautovic at the edge of the area. Desperate defending from Poland. In the end, it's toe poke cleared by Kivior, but only as far as Maweny, striding down the left-hand side for Austria. Gets near to the left-hand corner of the penalty area. Lays it back 10 yards or so to Seival. Then Grilic will tuck it back further to halfway, and Lienhardt. Now Maweny again on this left-hand side. Didn't hold on to the ball well enough. Good defending from Frankowski, who's grown into this game, the right wing-back for Poland, having had a torrid opening quarter. He's won a throw for his side. 1-1.
Yeah, the Austrians seem a little bit rattled at the minute. I mean, we're looking at this Baumgartner again. Yeah, the pass was Arnautovic. That was the one to go to, because straight away, even Sabitzer, I think, is offside, to be fair, when he received it, but he was always going to come back onto his right foot. Arnautovic was the pass because he would have touch, finish.
Throw's been given to Austria in their left-back position. 5 minutes to half-time on Talksport at the Euros. If you're just tuning in, Poland 1, Austria 1. Gernot Trauner heading Austria in front just before the 10-minute mark. Krzysztof Piątek equalising on the half hour for the Poles. Here's Arnautovic, once a Stoke and West Ham United. Winning a free kick, which he takes quickly, trying to get Lima away down the inside right of the penalty area, but good defending by Slits. Goes out of play for a throw, but Austria have this throw 10 yards from the corner flag on the far side of the field from us, on their right. But again, they're not getting that many players into the box for these long throws, Darren Bent. Only two in there at the moment, really, with Arnautovic and Baumgartner. Now Trauner comes forward as the throw's taken short to Seival. He tosses the ball into the box, headed away for Poland, up to the halfway line, but nobody there in white, so it's one back by Lienhardt, but too much club there from Lienhardt to get it out to the right wing. Poland have a throw. 1-1.
Austria's quality just deserted them a little bit in the minute. I know they've been rattled by the goal, but still, get back to what they were doing in the first 10 minutes, where they were causing problems, playing really well.
Well, Poland just given the ball straight back to them, midway point of their own half. Florian Grilic for Austria, centre of the half now. Options left and right. Rolls it right to Posch, and the right back Posch will in turn lay it off to Seival. Maweny again in plenty of space on this left-hand side. It's worked in the midfield to Sabitzer. Goes for goal, and it's only just wide. Szczesny flying across to his right, probably had it covered, but it was a fearsome hit from Marcel Sabitzer. Ends up being a goal kick for Poland. 1-1.
Yeah, Sabitzer just mixing it up there, coming infield. I mean, he spent a lot of his time really wide, but he came in just quite narrow and tries to hit a shot. He tries to hit it behind the defender so the goalkeeper can't see it, but I think even if it hits the target, certainly from that type of range, I think Szczesny would have had it covered.
Talksport of the Euros earlier today on Talksport 2 in Dusseldorf. It finished Slovakia 1, Ukraine 2 in Group E. That means 3 teams on 3 points and Belgium on nothing. They play Romania in the late game tomorrow, so if Belgium were to win that game, all teams on 3 points in that group going into the final round of matches. Here's Baumgartner making a strong run down the inside left channel for Austria, but he runs into too many white shirts in the end, and Frankowski for Poland teases it down the right wing for his captain Zielinski, who in turn wins a throw off Maweny. 1-1.
He is so calm on the ball, Zielinski. I mean, they can give him the ball in any scenario, and 9 times out of 10, he'll choose the right option. I mean, they're firing balls into him when he's got a man up his back. Nice first touch, bringing his others into play. He's that one, I think, at the minute on that pitch for Poland that's got that real little bit of star power about him.
Title winner with Napoli just a couple of seasons ago, as part of that brilliant team with Kvaratskhelia and Osimhen and co. Ball through the middle for Poland, but out comes Pence, the sweeper keeper, to put it out of play over on the far side of this cavernous stadium. Huge bowl with massive curves at either end. If you're in the back seat of one of the curves beyond the goal, a pair of binoculars would help. But we've got a decent view here, I have to say, bang on the halfway line. And we watch on as Poland have possession in their own half with Southampton's Jan Bednarek. Gives the ball to Piotrowski, tries to play it through the centre circle for Slits, but it's won back by Austria, and it's a good ball from Sabitzer to get the ball down the left-hand side. Kept in play by Grilic. tries to roll it up to the edge of the area and give it back to Sabitzer, but Poland have it back. Oh, and then they give it away, the Poles. Arnautovic, though, runs into Piotrowski, who atoned for the error in giving it away. Now Zalewski on the left-hand side of his own half goes back for Kivior, and the Arsenal man with a good clearance actually up to Piotrowski, and even though he couldn't hold on to it, the ball is still with Poland. We're into the last minute of normal time of this first half on Talksport. Szczesny clears downfield, might bounce here for Piontek, and it will. Bounce of the ball helps in there to keep it away from Grilic. One last chance maybe for Poland in this first half. Again, lovely skill from Zielinski to drift away from Baumgartner into the centre of the half. Bartosz Litz goes down, wants a free kick, and the referee eventually agrees with him, and Poland have a free kick in position A, just to the right of centre, for a left-footed free kick on goal after Bartosz Litz fell to the turf. What do you make of that, Darren Bent?
Oh, I'm not sure about the contact there. I mean, it's good play again. Zielinski's at the heart of it. He does quite well, Slits, and I mean, yeah, he's almost eye gouged him, so I'd probably say it was definitely a foul.
Yeah, certainly didn't catch his feet, but yet caught the face of Bartosz Litz, who's known as the vacuum cleaner, plays in MLS for Atlanta United. So it's a free kick now. I reckon Nikola Zalewski might be the favourite here, even though Zielinski's standing over the ball. It's just to the right of centre, Darren, about 30 yards out. We're just moving into 1 minute of minimum added time on Talksport in Berlin. 1-1 between Poland and Austria, but Poland have this free kick.
Yeah, real quality, just hit the target. I mean, as you said, this could be the last opportunity before the half's over. Going in at half-time, 2-1 up when you were 1-0 down. You've certainly been the better side the last 10 minutes, I'd say. Just make the goalkeeper work, make him make a save.
Austrian wall at the edge of the penalty area gives an idea about how far out this free kick is. Zielinski and Zalewski standing over it, right or left footer to come. It's Zielinski round the wall, brilliant save, Pence, to turn it behind for a corner. Strong wrist and needed to be, but it is a corner still to Poland. 1-1.
Yeah, really good. Zielinski again, we spoke about his quality, we've been speaking about it all first half. Hit the target, he goes round the wall with his right foot. It's probably more suited for a lefty, but he goes with it with his quality, and it's a really, really good save from Pence.
But it is a corner. This will surely be the last action of the first half. Zielinski with it, right-footed out swinger, whipped into around the penalty spot, headed up in the air, and it's caught by Patrick Pence. And that indeed is the end of a really, really entertaining first half, and we knew it would be, because both these teams have got to go for it to effectively give themselves something decent to play for in their final group stage games. And Austria hit the front, a quite brilliant header from Gernot Trauner, one of the players brought into the side by Ralf Rangnick this afternoon. Good cross from Maweny from the byline left-hand side, but somehow Trauner twisted his neck muscles and got a really firm header past Szczesny at his near post. Poland grew into the game, though, in fairness to them, and by the half hour they were level. A cross from the left-hand side saw Bednarek's shot blocked on its way to goal, but the ball popped out to Krzysztof Piontek. He slotted home on the rebound, and Pence just made a brilliant save right on half-time to deny the lively Zielinski a goal that would have put Poland ahead. But at the break here at the Olympiastadion in Berlin, all to play for in the second half live on Talksport. It is Poland 1, Austria 1.
Ian, thank you very much. Darren, let's just review then that first half that we've just seen, and that first 15 minutes, my goodness, it was wave after wave of Austria attack, and they got off to a dream start, didn't they? And a deserved goal early doors from Gernot Trauner to give them that lead. Not an easy header, as you were telling us. Just explain to us why that was such a difficult goal for him to score.
I mean, you summed up there and that by saying, I mean, I feared for Poland after the first 15 minutes, but I mean, the header is outstanding, because Maweny, who does really well, because he takes the throw on, it comes back to him, and he doesn't try and smash the cross, and he just kind of leaves it in an area. But Trauner's almost going away from goal, so as the cross comes in, he's having to adjust his body. He's in the air, it's a little bit behind him, and there's no pace on the ball really. Like, he's not fired it in, and he's had to generate the power, and he just almost guided it into an area where Szczesny can't get it into that near top corner. It's such an intelligent but a really, really well-skilled header.
Yeah, a header of real direction from Trauner to give Austria that deserved lead, like I said. And what was really impressive, they just went at Poland, and it sort of felt like Poland didn't know what to do with this attack by Austria. And what was in the end good about Poland is they were able to slow things down, they were able to settle things in the end, and they got their equaliser in the half-hour mark. Do you think Austria lost their way, or was it a case of Poland just getting used to those aggressive tactics and then being able to combat them?
Yeah, probably a little bit of both, because as you said, Austria, the first 15 minutes were brilliant. They were causing problems, probably didn't work the goalkeeper enough in that period, but they managed to get the goal. But Poland almost adjusted really well, started to get one or two passes along the way, started to believe in what they were doing, started to show real confidence, a little bit more bravery. And when they started committing more men forward, opportunities started to arise. I mean, Zielinski, that first half, everything they did going forward well, he was at the heart of, he was obviously integral to the goal that they got. But they just started to believe a little bit more. But when they once they got that goal from Piontek, he looked really sharp. A couple of times the ball was bouncing off him, but in and around the box he makes little darting runs, and I was thinking if they could just find him, there'd be an opportunity there. And again, it's an instinct finish, it bobbles around the box, it falls to him, what first touch is there, and he rolls it in, and it's a really, really good finish.
Yeah, he's certainly justifying his selection in the team today, one of the changes made by the Polish manager.
Yeah, he has, and to be fair, because a lot of noise was like, what's he going to do? Is Lewandowski going to be back? We spoke about it. Can they survive without him? But he's coming in, and to be fair, he's looked really lively again. A couple of times early on, maybe a little bit nervous in terms of just giving the ball away possession-wise, but it looks like anything that bounces in and around the box, he's not too far away from that, and that comes from him scoring goals all season for his club side.
What's fascinating, you mentioned Lewandowski, he is on the bench, and the cameras do like to pick him up when he's on the bench, and you clearly see every time there's something going on in that game and the cameras are on him, he is in deep conversation with coaches and everyone involved on that bench for Poland. Obviously someone that maybe the coaches are quite happy to talk tactics with because of the experience that he brings to that team, even though he's not playing.
Exactly that and that, but you've got him, Lewandowski on the Polish bench, you've got David Alaba on the Austrian bench. Every single time something happens there, he's up, he's talking to the manager, and I mean, you're talking about two absolute greats, two world-class players there that have got so much international experience, won big trophies. But it would be very surprising. I mean, if you're the Polish manager now, you're happy, you got your side in. I thought they ended the first half the better side, but it'd be interesting to see how long they give it before potentially they do try and risk Lewandowski, because I think a point for either side is not the worst result in the world, but I think one of them has to win, I think.
Does 1-1 feel fair then at half-time right now for you, Darren?
Yeah, it does. I mean, Austria, they're probably thinking, what's going on? We started off the game so well, and we've only got one goal to show for it, whereas Poland started off really slow, but they've just grown into the game, and certainly the way the first half was going towards the end, I thought Poland were the next team that were going to get a goal. So yeah, I'd say so far 1-1 seems the fair result.
Yeah, in terms of attempts and shots in this game, it's level. 7 attempts, and then it's Austria who edge it by 3 shots on goal to the 2 from Poland. So despite that impressive start by Austria, Poland have got themselves back into this game. Darren, for now, thank you very much. Let's check in with how England's cricketers are getting on right now. With the T20 World Cup action that is taking place. John Norman's watching it for us. John.
43 for 2 England, chasing 164. We've had 7 overs. Earlier today with South Africa asked to bat first. They got off to a lightning start. 63 without loss after 6. And then things slowed down. Batting became a little bit more difficult. And boy, oh boy, England's fielding was unbelievable. South Africa haven't quite managed to match them in the field. Johnny Bairstow dropped badly by the fielder running in at deep third when he was on 9, but it hasn't cost South Africa because he's just been dismissed. Marco Jansen with a good catch at point, removing Bairstow for 16. Phil Salt's also gone for 11, so it's Butler and Ali at the crease, but run scoring has proven to be a little bit more tricky than what we saw at the start of the South Africa innings, and it could be that the power play separates these two teams, with Quinton de Kock top scoring for South Africa with a brilliant knock of 65 from 38. Still plenty of cricket to be played, and England with that win against West Indies, they don't have the pressure on their shoulders, but pace coming out the track, there is some movement there, and as I say, run scoring isn't easy. So I'd say South Africa favourites to win this game, but still 13 overs remaining. England need 120 from 77 balls. They're 44 for 2.
John, thank you very much. We'll have more updates from John then throughout this match. As for the game in Berlin at this European Championships, let's run you through what happened in the first half with our highlights, all thanks to Carling.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
After the Poles lost to the Netherlands and the Austrians were edged out by the French, this game is even more must-win. What's the cross like? Decent. Trauner! 1-0 Austria! Brilliant header at the near post.
Marko Arnautovic, he's made all the difference in this early part.
Comes into the area, cross for Zalewski at the far post, and he's blasted it over the bar. Comes down left-hand side. Surely it's an equaliser. It's blocked, but the equaliser does come. It's 1-1. Christoph Piątek.
For the last 10 minutes, that's no more than Poland deserves. I thought they've been a better side. They've really gone and pressed Austria and caused them a lot of problems.
That indeed is the end of a really, really entertaining first half. All to play for in the second half, live on Talksport. It is Poland 1, Austria 1.
So those were your halftime highlights. Thanks to Carling. It's 18 and over. Please do drink responsibly.
Half-time highlights on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Euro Game Day Live, delivered by Talksport with Burger King. What's better than a last-minute winner? A crispy chicken royale delivered straight to your door.
When Andre sold his car on finance with Motorway, he got more money. Ooh! He then put that extra money into tickets to follow his team around the country. Come on, lads! Selling on Motorway was completely stress-free, which is more than I can say about being a supporter of Yes! Sell your car the more money way, where 84% of sellers sold for more. Motorway. Validated against 2 independent sources. Visit motorway.co.uk/claim.
This tournament, prepare for greatness with William Hill. Get ready for last-minute winners, legendary goals, and straight red cards. Oh, what was he thinking? Win 25% more on every single game this tournament with Bet Builder Extra, online or in the app, only from William Hill. Available day before match to kick-off. Bet Builders are 3+ selections at 3-1 or more. Pre-match singles, match stake £20. Full T's and C's apply. 18+, begambleaware.org.
I need to get snacks. I need to get drinks. Should have done this beforehand. I need to get treats. Gotta find a BP. Gotta find a BP. Oh, my mates say won't like me. Gotta find a... Oh, there it is.
BP is here for all your big game essentials. Plus, BP Me Rewards members can earn points to put towards great saves.
Adam in the car 1, hungry mates, nil.
BP, here for all of life's journeys. BP Me Rewards card or app required. For full T's and C's, visit bpmerewards.co.uk.
Strength comes from confidence, both on and off the pitch. And confidence starts with self-care. Upgrade your game with Dove Men Plus Care Advanced 72-hour sweat protection antiperspirant deodorant and Dove Men Plus Care 24-hour nourishing body wash. Perfect for your post-match shower. Now available in new eucalyptus and mint long-lasting fresh fragrance. Let confidence last with Dove Men Plus Care. Proud partners of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
I tell you what, Jeff, it's been some journey, but here they are, just moments away from the whistle.
Absolutely, there's been twists, there's been turns, not to mention that parking of the bus, but as the clock runs down, I think they're going to make it.
It goes to show that you can really handle the pressure when your tyres are performing.
I'm home. Has the game started yet?
Top performance.
Driving home for the match? Keep your tyres in peak condition. Book today at quickfit.com or your local centre. Quickfit. Drive away happy every time.
Let's go live to hear about that winning goal.
The crowd's gone absolutely wild here. How on earth do you sum up your emotions right now?
Amazing. A hat-trick is just the best feeling ever.
Is it though? Is kicking a ball into the back of the net really better than food fulfillment from Burger King? That warm, fuzzy feeling of total food satisfaction, like finishing the last bite of a Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus.
No.
Correct. Burger King. That's food fulfillment.
Get match ready with Club Card prices. Like 2 for £8 on selected Fire Pit barbecue products. With Tesco Club Card, everyone can feel to lower prices. Tesco, every little helps. Majority of larger stores ends 22nd of September, excludes Northern Ireland. Club Card or app required.
Euro Game Day Live on Talksport with Carling, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, always drink responsibly.
Talksport. Der Fußball from Deutschland.
How about that?
Licensed broadcaster of UEFA Euro 2024 Germany.
Euro Game Day Live with Natalie Sawyer
on Talksport.
Treffers.
It is 1-1 for our Euro Game Day Live, coming to you from Berlin between Poland and Austria. A result that gives both these sides points on the board, but a win will be much better for either. Bear in mind they both lost their opening games. So 1-1 it is at the break between Poland and Austria. Let's bring you the latest from William Hill.
In the Zone on Talksport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Well, William Hill are still favouring Austria to win this one. You can get them at 6-5, whereas Poland are priced at 7-2. And if you fancy the draw, which it is currently with another 45 minutes to go, then they're pricing that at 8-5. Zielinski has been pretty exciting as a player for Poland. He is what William Hill are going for as the next goal scorer. You can get him at 12. So those are the latest odds, thanks to William Hill. Terms and conditions apply. It's 18 and over. Be gambleaware.org.
In the Zone on Talksport with William Hill. Prepare for greatness with William Hill. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
Okay, coming up after us here on TalkSport, Euro Game Day Live continues with two of the other teams in this Group D, and it is the Netherlands who take on France. Let's head back to our commentary team of Ian Danter and Darren Bent, just get their thoughts ahead of this one, which, as I say, sees France face the Netherlands. And France, interestingly, they just scored that one goal. It was an own goal as well, in fact, against Austria in that first game, Darren. Did they look as exciting as you expect from France?
Do you know what? Probably not. I mean, Mbappe missing chances, Dembele, so probably not maybe going forward as much as we probably all hoped or thought, because listen, we know how good they can be. I was more excited of almost the re-emergence of N'Golo Kante. I think when he's playing like that, I think they're going to be very hard to beat, because we saw him play for Leicester, they win the league. He went to Chelsea, they win the Premier League. He plays for France, they win the World Cup. He just looked like playing in Saudi. He's almost refreshed him a little bit. So I still think they are the side to beat. And yes, Austria tested them, but I never really felt that they were in any danger. So I make France going favourites into this one.
Yeah, we await to see what will happen with Kylian Mbappe after breaking his nose in that game. But interestingly, back with you in Berlin as the teams start to emerge. See Robert Lewandowski warming up. I'm not expecting any changes just of yet, but he's certainly been warming up on the pitch during half-time. And you wonder whether or not they will make a decision to bring on Lewandowski in this second half. Bear in mind, they've got France to come in their final group game. Poland did to Austria what we expect Austria to do, which was press, and eventually they got their rewards with their equaliser. That after Austria had come firing out of the blocks to take the lead. But as I mentioned, Poland, well, they stayed in the game and they got themselves level. The teams are in the tunnel, about to make their way out. Darren, do you expect Lewandowski to make an appearance?
Do you know what, Nat? This depends on how the game goes. I think if Poland are losing to Austria, he might have to come on. They might not want to, but even if it stays like this, I don't think they'll risk him. Even if it's 1-1, I don't think they'll bring him on.
Yeah, well, it looks as though there might be some changes. So let's hand you back to your commentary team. Darren Bent is alongside Ian Danter.
Thank you, Natalie. Well, the first change we could see a little while ago, Patrick Wimmer of Wolfsburg is going to come on for Austria at the start of this second half. He's a winger, former junior weightlifting champion before he turned to professional football. And the other player that's coming on is Brighton and Hove Albion's Jakub Moder for this second half. So no Lewandowski quite yet, but it's going to be a change apiece at the turnaround for both Poland and Austria. We're just waiting to see which players are making way for these respective substitutes. First of all, the board's going to go up once the fourth officials manage to get hold of it. It makes it look like it's an anvil he's holding up there, not a substitutes board. And the player coming off is Florian Grilic to allow Patrick Wimmer to come on. So see what that does for the shape, because Wimmer is ostensibly a winger. And as for Jakub Moder, the Brighton man, he's coming on in central midfield for Jakub Piotrowski. So a straight swap, effectively, Moder for Piotrowski in central midfield. So the lineups: Poland, Szczesny in goal, Bednarek, Davidovich, Kiwior, Frankowski, Slits, Moder, Zielinski, Zalewski, Buksha and Piontek. For Austria, Pence in goal, Posch, Trauner, Lienhardt, Mwene, Seiwald, Wimmer, Leimer, Baumgartner, Sabitzer Arnautovic. And it's Poland, who are wearing all white this evening, who will get the second half underway, kicking from right to left as we look at the back of the main stand here at the Olympia Stadion. The curve away to our left with that little gap in the middle where the Olympic flame and the Olympic symbols used to sit. That's where the Austrian fans are. It's the end that the Poles are kicking towards in this second half. And Buksha trying to get involved early on, finds Zalewski, trying to clip the ball into the box from this left-hand side, trying to find Buksha with a return pass, but Austria gets it clear, and straight away Wimmer trying to get into the game, but he's dispossessed by the other substitute, Jakub Moder. And now Zielinski darting down the left-hand side for Poland, faced up by Seiwald, tries to nutmeg Seiwald, but the Austrian midfielder too cute for that, and wins it back and will guide it back to the edge of his penalty area, and then plays a 1-2 with Posch. Ball cleverly cushioned down by the head of Arnautovic to allow Austria to try and fire it downfield from Konrad Laimer to pick out Sabitzer. Great ball for Sabitzer, who crosses to the far post. Oh, it's just beyond the run of Baumgartner. It was a very swift counter-attack at the start of the second half for Austria, but Sabitzer holds up his hand apologetically to Baumgartner for overcooking the pass. 1-1.
I think he would have been better off just holding on to it there a bit, so there was no real cross on him. Arnautovic had tried to get himself into the box, but they defended him really well, and it was almost like he just tried to force it to Baumgartner, who was never going to get the ball. So maybe just hold on to it and then maybe wait for you get some more support, and then you can get the cross into the box or set it for somebody else.
A reminder that as it stands, with the score at 1-1, that'll mean both Poland and Austria would move on to one solitary point each. Netherlands and France currently on 3 apiece. They meet straight after this game on Talksport. Live commentary from Leipzig of the Netherlands against the French. How involved will Mbappe be, if at all? Hugh Wozencroft, Joe Shannon and Chris Iwelumo will be your commentary team for that one, to round off your day of Euro 2024 commentaries. After earlier today, Nigel Adderley and Courtney Sweetman-Kirk brought you Ukraine's brilliant comeback against Slovakia with a 2-1 win. Meantime, Poland smacked the ball up to the halfway line, but come to be won by Posch, the right back, headed in field by Laimer. Leimer's dropped a little deeper in this second half, Darren Bent, to allow Wimmer, who's just come on as a substitute, to play in his position on the right of the 3 behind Arnautovic.
Yeah, I did think they just shuffled him across, to be fair, because as you said there, Patrick Wimmer very direct, gets crosses in, gets in behind, a little bit of pace as well, makes good runs from out to in.
He's making one right now, but he's not been picked out by the pass from Laimer, but it drops on halfway for Seiwald. Now here's Wimmer, inside right position, just on his outside is Posch. Back in field it goes to Seiwald, and he elects to go back to Trauner on halfway. Trauner just keeping the ball away from Schlitz and Piontek, but it goes out of play for an Austrian throw right beneath our commentary position as we look from our high vantage point in this mightily impressive stadium where the Euro 2024 final will take place on Sunday the 14th of July, live on Talksport. Is Stefan Posch for Austria. Infield to Laimer. Good ball for Philippe Mwene, who set up the cross for the first goal of the game that put Austria in front. But it's 1-1 if you're just tuning in to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, with 3 minutes gone in the second period in Berlin. Austria have a throw, far side, midway point of the Poland half. Thrown in quickly by Sabitzer for Laimer. Gives it back to the one-time Manchester United man. Good run from Sabitzer down the left-hand side of the penalty area. Then checks his run, gives it back to Konrad Laimer. Spots Posch in a bit of space 30 yards out. Elected to go for goal, and that was blocked by Jakub Moder, and out for a throw on this near side. 1-1.
Austria have started out their strike of the first half. Intense, playing in Poland's half, getting the ball into Arnautovic, which is something they came away from in that first half, but they're using the width as well. I mean, we saw Wimmer make a really good run, and he wasn't spotted there, but just up the intensity a little bit, because if you're the Austrian manager, the way they started, you'd be really disappointed the way they finished the first half, so they've got to continue that in the second half.
Marko Arnautovic, the Austrian skipper, receives the throw-in on this near side, the right, but Austria under pressure have given the ball up, and Piontek just allows the ball to drift out of play in front of the Austrian dugout for a throw-in. These two teams have met at the Euros before, and it was in the second game as well, back in Euro 2008. 1-1, a late Austrian penalty was given by Howard Webb, who then received criticism for that decision from the Polish Prime Minister.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
There speaks the bitter voice of Darren Bent, who's clearly beyond the wrong end of a Howell Webb decision or two. Ball forward to the edge of the Polish penalty area, almost had Arnautovic in behind, but Poland did enough. But it's back with Austria once again. Mwene back in field for Konrad Laimer, trying to protect the ball from Piontek. Posh out to Wimmer, the Austrian substitute, on this right-hand side, looking to go on the outside of the defender Jakub Kiwior. Has he won a corner, Wimmer? He has. Away to our right-hand side. Chance for Austria to see what they can do from a set piece. 1-1 the score on Talksport.
I like what Wimmer's done since he's come on. He's kept his whip, he's been direct, he's made a couple of good runs, and there he just, obviously, he had one thought in his mind, get the ball out his feet and put the cross into the box. It was good defending from Kiwior.
Wimmer will have the corner on this near side, the Austrian right, an out-swinging delivery to come. Lands around 10 yards out, and it's headed goalwards by Trauner once again, but this time it was a much easier claim for Wojciech Szczesny. In fact, Lienhardt might have got the final touch, but Szczesny caught hold of it without really having to move too far, and it stays 1-1.
Yeah, I think it was Stefan Posch who had the header, but it was he might have had a better chance of maybe just directing it back into traffic, because he tries to head the ball, but he's almost getting too far away from goal. He's never going to beat Szczesny with that type of cross, so maybe just head it back into that area and let someone else maybe try and put it in the empty net.
Frankowski works the ball in field, good skill by Piontek. It's out on the right hand side. Buksha's making a run into the area, but Frankowski finds Piontek at the edge of the D, went for goal with a snapshot, but got right underneath it, under pressure as he took the shot, and it went way over the bar for an Austrian goal kick. 1-1.
No one's going to criticise him for shooting. He's the man in form. He's the one who got them back into the game in that first half with that goal, but there, what he wanted to do was let it run across his body onto his left foot and then hit the shot. Because he's so dominantly right footed, again he went back into traffic and it gets blocked.
Moda tries to turn the ball round the corner from the right-hand corner of the penalty area, but gets too much on it. Jakub Moda returned in November after 570-odd days out injured.
Wow.
Missed all but one of the qualifiers, basically missed the entire 22-23 season. Jakub Moda cost Brighton 11 million from Lech Poznan. Of course, he'll have a new manager to deal with next season at the Amex. Here's Nikola Zalewski for Poland. 7 minutes gone in the second half. 1-1 it remains on Talksport. Good ball from Zalewski to get the other wing back going down the right hand side. Good ball from Frankowski, finds Zielinski, goes down at the edge of the area under pressure from Konrad Laimer, but away instead comes Baumgartner trying to get a counter-attack going for Austria. He's held back by Bartosz Slits. Yellow card for Slits for that challenge, and Austria have a free kick in the centre of the Polish half. 1-1.
Good technical foul there, because he was away Baumgartner. He shifted his body one way, he Cruyff turned, he was about to stride away from him, but Slits wasn't letting him go, grabbed his shirt, pulled him down. Good tactical foul. I don't mind a tactical foul every now and then.
Oh, you cynic. First yellow card of the game for Bartosz Slits. First yellow card Poland have had at these championships. Austria have got 3 players out there on a yellow. Mwene, Baumgartner and Laimer, incidentally. And it's Sabitzer standing over this free kick. Again, Poland are holding a very high line, a good 20-22 yards out. This free kick's not quite in the centre of the half. Sabitzer puts too much on it, way too much. I could see that from the moment it left his boot that it was going to go straight out of play on the full without bouncing for a Polish goal kick.
And that's what you talk about, a free kick in that type of area. It's too far out for a shot and it's not wide enough for a cross. So that's where you need to get a pass in to create an angle for it to come back to you, and then you try and put the ball in, or you just try and move the ball a little bit. It's an incredibly difficult cross. It's not even a cross really, like a clip pass to the back post when it's so straight.
Austria coming forward again. It's Sabitzer who's driving into the area, left-hand side, gets the shot away. Well blocked by Jan Bednarek and goes out of play for a throw on the far side. Suddenly, Austria launched into a counter, and they have it again as Mwene collects the throw from Sabitzer down the far left-hand side of the field. And then Mwene elects to go back to halfway. You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, presented by Carling, the UK's #1 lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. Stefan Posch for Austria, coming in field from right back, just in front of the centre circle. Lays it off to Konrad Laimer. Laimer, faced up by Zielinski, rolls it out to Mwene left-hand side, checks onto his right foot, thought about a cross, but then goes back in field to Laimer. Back out he goes once more to the left wing, and Mwene, who's faced up by Frankowski. Again, checks back onto his right foot, but the cross still doesn't come in from Austria. Now Sabitzer down the left-hand side of the box. Maybe the cross will come in now. Checks onto his right and then onto his left. Teases it to the far post. Up goes Baumgartner, won't win the header. Good strong header clear by Jakub Moder. And maybe Poland can now counter, though Austria got plenty of red shirts back. Good skill from Zalewski to dart away down the left-hand side. And then he's caught by Wimmer. And having come on as a substitute, he picks up Austria's first yellow card of the game, and Poland have a free kick.
Really good play
from the midway
Zalewski.
point of the half.
Great play from Zalewski there, bringing the ball up the pitch, not just giving the ball away, trying a hopeless pass, driving with it. Really clever Cruyff turn as well. Knew Wimmer was coming as well. Just used his body, got his body across him, and drew the foul.
I think we just had the 50th anniversary of the Cruyff turn when that was first.
Yeah.
Well, the only time it happened. Although many have tried. Have you tried a Cruyff turn?
I would have done somewhere along the line. Not too often though. That was out of my repertoire. That
repertoire, eh? Okay.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, no, that's fine. Some players don't have one. They just stick the ball in the back of the net. Here's the free kick for Poland. Swung in by Zielinski to the edge of the area. Flicked up in the air, might drop at the far post, but acrobatically volleyed clear by Arnautovic. Brilliantly done by the captain. Could be a counter-attack on here for Austria, but Wimmer can't hold on to the ball into the centre circle, and it's back with Szczesny. 1-1 on Talksport.
It started off the way the first half started off, where Austria came out the traps really, really quickly, and you thought, oh my goodness, if Poland don't buck up their ideas, it could be 2-3. But the last 5 minutes, Poland have just started to put their foot on the ball a little bit now, start to move it a little bit. I think Jakub Moder's come on, and he's made a real impact as well. So it's all of a sudden now, the Polands are getting back into it.
Zalewski finds Moder, who's caught at the edge of the area, but out to the left-hand side of it. But it is a free kick to Poland. Karol Swiderski is ready to come on, and Robert Lewandowski is stripped and ready for action. Double change on the way for Poland, including their talisman. But they have a free kick, first of all, at the edge of the box. But Trauner, the Austrian centre-half, needs some treatment before that free kick can be taken. 1-1.
Yeah, Trauner there, he's the one who committed the foul. Again, Poland are really, really on top at the minute, causing them problems, outnumbering them on this left-hand side. I mean, Zalewski, he started off the second half on a lot sharp. He's moving the ball, he's getting out defenders, and Wimmer's having to do a lot of tracking back into his own half, which he doesn't want to do. But the fact that Poland now bringing on these two,
well, there's a change looming for Austria as well. Kevin Danso, who played at the first game against the French but was dropped today, is now quickly stripped and ready. Maybe that means Gernot Trauner might find it difficult to continue, as he still sits down at the edge of the area, being helped to his feet. And now the Polish fans have spotted that Lewandowski has moved away from the dugout and towards the side of the pitch, and the change is being made by Austria, and it is indeed Trauner who is not going to be able to continue. So centre-half for centre-half, as Kevin Danso of Lens comes on to replace him. He is on a yellow card that he picked up against the French. And now we'll see what two players make way for Poland to allow Swiderski and Lewandowski to enter the fray. Bit more of adjustment on the electronic boards just down beneath us. Finally, the subs are ready, so the free kick will actually take place before the substitutions are made, it seems to me, because Zielinski is standing over it. No, now the changes are being made, and unsurprisingly, it's young Buksha, who scored against the Netherlands, who is making way for his senior partner. So Lewandowski winning his 151st cap now with 82 goals to his name. He comes on, and the other player making way is Piontek, who gets a huge roar, having got Poland level. So all change up front, Darren Bent.
Yeah, I mean, I think Piontek, that's a surprising one. I thought he looked quite sharp, obviously got his goal, looked really hungry, made some really good runs, but listen, I think when you've got him coming on, Robert Lewandowski, I mean, 82 goals for his country, I think you could pretty much justify any substitution that you make.
Free kick for Poland, 25 yards out. Piotr Zielinski, right-footed, straight into the wall. I think it hit Danso, who's just come on as a sub. That's his first involvement to head it away from danger. But Poland with Jakub Moder, pick it up on the far right-hand side, teases it down the right-hand flank, Good cross from Frankowski and turned behind somewhat nervously from Posch for a Poland corner away to our left-hand side. 1-1 on Talksport with an hour played in Berlin.
Poland have certainly been the better side. Certainly the last 5 minutes have really upped the intensity. They're really getting at Austria, causing them problems, winning the ball high up the pitch. And to be fair, Austria, every time they get the ball in possession at the minute, they're giving it away. They need to get back to what they were doing, certainly in the first part of this second half.
Corner kick. Zielinski to take for Poland. And the back header from... it ended up being Davidovic. Was way over the crossbar. And Austria have taken the goal kick too quickly. Needs to take it from the right place, says the Turkish referee. Incidentally, Lewandowski, 82 goals for his country. The next highest goal scorer in the squad is Kamil Grzycki, who's on the bench. He's got 17.
Wow. That tells you maybe overly reliant on one person.
That's the way it's been for the past few tournaments. It's their 5th successive Euros, Poland. Were only once out of the group stage. And they ended up losing on penalties. I was at that game at the Stade Velodrome in Marseille back in 2016. Jakub Błaszczykowski was the player that missed the penalty to allow Portugal to get through. Ricardo Quaresma, remember him?
Yeah, outside he was the specialist outside of the boot.
Yeah.
Fantastic footballer.
1-1 in Berlin. Austria coming forward. Neat football from them, and there was a foul on Baumgartner and a yellow card for Jakub Moder, who goes into the referee's notebook as the second yellow card for Poland, along with Slits. And it means that Austria have a free kick quite a way out. It's pretty much the midway point of the half, isn't it, Darren Bent? 1-1.
Yeah, it is, and they've had a number of free kicks in this area, and I don't think they've got one right yet. I mean, it's Sabitzer that keeps trying to clip the ball into that back post, and it's not on, it's too straight. You've got to move the angle, you've got to change the ball, either pass it, set it, and then you go from there. But it's almost like a direct free kick. It's too far to shoot, and you can't clip it to the back post unless it's absolutely perfect. So for me, they've got to change the angle.
Alexander Prass is waiting to come on for Austria. In fact, that change is being made now, and it's a straight swap for Philip Mwene at left back. So Alexander Prass, who is a midfielder really, plays for Sturm Graz in Austria, former right back at the Salzburg Academy, but looks like he's going across to play at left full back. Free kick to Austria then. Score at 1-1 on Talksport in this crucial game. Both managers called it must win, but as it is, it's all square. Wimmer and Savic are standing over this free kick. Are they going to play a short pass, or are they going to toss it into the area? Wimmer sends it into the box. Arnautovic across the face of goal. Nobody can turn it home for Austria, and it's dramatically and panicked cleared by Poland, and there's an offside flag up anyway. It means nothing. It stays 1-1, and it's a free kick to the Poland side. 1-1.
Well played, Poland, because they were brave. They defended the edge of the box. None of them dropped. They were all in sync, and Arnautovic went way too early. I mean, he went probably about a second before the ball was kicked, and he was about 2 or 3 yards offside. So really brave from Poland there.
That's the thoughts of former England striker Darren Bent alongside me, Ian Tanter, here at the Olympia Stadion in Berlin. 63 minutes gone. Cracking noise around us here. Both sets of fans bedecked in red and white, really contributing to this terrific atmosphere. A good game as well, 1-1. Now, there's going to be a yellow card for a foul by Lewandowski. He's not been on the pitch very long. He just picked up a yellow card for clattering into an Austrian player. It's Lienhardt that he's caught. And having assumed the yellow captain's armband, Lewandowski now gets a yellow card to go with it.
That's one of those decisions where he's quite clearly jumping. He needs to use his arms to get momentum in the air, and his elbows out there. Yes, his elbows are high, but that's what you do when you jump, to get momentum. So I hate seeing bookings for that. I think you can always tell whether a player's looked at a defender and gone, do you know what, I'm going to be a bit naughty here. He's quite clearly got both eyes on the ball. I hate seeing bookings for that.
But a booking it is, according to our Turkish referee, who's explaining the decision at great length to Lewandowski. Meantime, Trauner has got an ice pack on his left thigh. It's the reason why he went off, the Austrian goal scorer and centre half. 1-1. Just over 25 minutes to go on Talksport. We'll be off to Leipzig straight after this commentary with Hugh Rosencroft, Joe Shen and Chris Owelamo for the Netherlands against France in this group. Free kick to Poland on halfway. This is a really tough one to call which way it's going to go, Darren Bent.
It is, because Austria started the first half and we thought, okay, it's going to be one winner, and then Poland got themselves back into it. The second half was the exact same. I thought Austria started off really well, but Poland the last 10 minutes have been really good, really playing, really aggressive in their press. They brought on one of the greatest centre forwards probably in my generation, if not the best. So at the minute, if I had to pick one, I'd probably say Poland look more equipped of getting a result this afternoon.
No, it's evening. It's fair enough. 7 o'clock over here, nearly 25 past. I'll let you off.
I'm still working up English time.
Well, it's still tea time over there. 6:30, no problem. Throw into Austria. On the far left-hand side, bang on halfway. Danso will work it across to Posch, the right back, faced up by Zalewski, rolls it up to Wimmer on the halfway line, and he's been forced back into his own half by Jakub Kiwior, but that's a good ball, and this will allow Alexander Pras to get away for the first time, having come on as substitute. Oh, lovely ball in field. Baumgartner! It's 2-1! What a simple goal for Austria, but what a clinical finish from Christoph Baumgartner to put Austria back in front. All the credit goes to Alexander Pras, who strode forward from left back, just took the simple ball in field. Baumgartner ran onto it, slid it past Chesney, and it's now Poland 1, Austria 2.
What a goal. Alexander Pras, yes, great pass, but that goal is all about Marko Arnautovic. The ball's going into his feet. He's really clever. He knows that Baumgartner's running behind him. So what's he do? Just a little over. Some centre forwards might have tried to take it with them, hit an uncomfortable shot. What does he do? He knows what's going on behind him. He just gets across the defender, completely leaves it. That bamboozles Jan Bednarek, and it's a simple finish from Baumgartner. He had to keep his composure. He passed it out of his feet. It's a really good finish from Baumgartner, but for me, that goal is all about Marko Arnautovic.
There was just a little drop of the shoulder, a little dummy from Arnautovic, as Darren Bent rightly says, that was just enough to create the space for Baumgartner to move into in the centre of midfield. Got just inside the box, almost waited for Szczesny to commit himself. Super finish from the Leipzig midfielder, and Poland find themselves behind for a second time here in Berlin, and now they've got less than 25 minutes to try and save themselves.
We're certainly going to need that, but really good goal. I mean, I like the reaction as well from Christoph Baumgartner, running to Ralf Rangnick as well, giving him a big hug. Obviously they've got a special relationship, but again, Arnautovic intelligence, not to take the pass and try and get an uncomfortable shot for himself. He knows that Baumgartner's going in behind him, and he just disrupts that Polish backline just a fraction, enough to give Christoph Baumgartner that space, and it's a really tidy finish.
Scored after 6 seconds against Slovakia in March. And Christoph Baumgartner has put Austria back in front, maybe back in control of their destiny. Remember, they got through to the knockout stages at the last Euros. And it's his first goal at the Olympiastadion. He's not scored here in his Leipzig appearances against Hertha Berlin, Christoph Baumgartner, but it was clinical. So, quarter of the game to go on Talksport. Poland 1, Austria 2. Here is Lewandowski trying to make some room at the edge of the area. Touched by Swiderski. Fierce drive straight at the goalkeeper, and he managed to beat it away, Patrick Pence. And Austria will clear their lines. It was a fearsome hit from Swiderski. Half a yard either side of Patrick Pence. That could have been 2-2, Darren Bent.
Yeah, really good play. Comes from Lewandowski. I think it's Jakub Kiwior that rolls it into his feet. He just shifts it across his body and then gives it to Swiderski. And it's a good strike either side of him. Even if he bobbles it a little bit and doesn't quite catch it, it probably finds the net. Because he hit it so clean, straight at the goalkeeper, it's a comfortable save.
Yellow card for Marko Arnautovic now for stopping Poland taking a quick free kick after he fouled his man on halfway. So Poland do eventually take the free kick quickly, but the ball goes over the head of Lewandowski and Danso, but it hasn't gone out of play for a goal kick, and then the flag goes up for an offside against Zalewski, so it will be a free kick to Austria in their right back position. So the Austrian fans making noise away to our left hand side, swirling their flags and their scarves above their heads, believing that this is 3 points heading their way. Austria will play the Netherlands in their final game. Poland will be up against the French. Me and Darren will be at the Borussia Dortmund Stadium for that game next Tuesday. And that's a free kick for a foul by Wimmer on Lewandowski to test the old thigh muscles. And Poland have a free kick with 20 minutes to go on Talksport. Austria 2-1 up.
He's so clever, Lewandowski, because every time the ball goes into him, he just has a little look over his shoulder and he has a little right. If the defender's coming to the right, he'll shift it to the left. If he's come from the left, he'll do vice versa. Really intelligent, and 9 times out of 10 he draws a foul from it.
Get you a cricket update in a moment, but first is Jan Bednarek for Poland, just shy of the halfway line. He sends it infield. It's kept in play on that near side. Back to the halfway line it goes again in Jan Bednarek. Back it goes once again to the halfway line. Poland looking to try and pick holes, but Austria got everybody behind the ball. Zielinski plays the ball along the deck to Swiderski. Lots of room on the right-hand side for Frankowski, who might receive it now from Slits. He does. Frankowski swings an early ball into the box, headed up and out by the centre-half Lienhardt, but it will be a quick throw for the Poles on the right-hand side that Frankowski wants to take and get back into play. Gets it back from Jakub Moder. Slits won't put the ball into the box. Instead, he sends it back to Davidovic in the centre of midfield. Plays a 1-2 with Moder. And then Kivior comes out to the left-hand side, and Nikola Zalewski tries to run past Bosch. Good run, and the ball's hit out of play for a throw-in. Let's quickly check in with John Norman watching England-South Africa in the T20.
England making a good game of this. 55 needed from 29 balls. A partnership of 48 between Brook and Livingston, dragging them back into the contest when it looked like run scoring was almost impossible. 18 coming from the last Rabada over. Brooks just hit Morkier for back-to-back fours. 51 needed from 28 to all but guarantee England a place in the semi-finals.
Thank you, John. And all seemed lost a couple of games ago for England. But the last knockings of the T20 World Cup appear to be within their grasp. Let's see what happens. We'll check in with John once we have a result on that Super 8's encounter. Meantime, 18 minutes to go in Berlin here, live on Talksport. It is Poland 1, Austria 2. Baumgartner, who's just scored the second of Austria, just getting back to his feet a little slowly, having been caught. Danso will have the free kick for the Austrians. Arnautovic prowling around in the centre of the Polish half, but instead the free kick goes back to Patrick Pence, the goalkeeper. Left-footed clearance downfield, looking for Baumgartner on this right-hand side. He manages to keep the ball in play with his header, but it's kept alive and kept in play by Poland. And then Kivior hits the ball against Wimmer. You probably heard it thumping against the FX microphones down beneath us, and it's a throw. It's going to be another change, and Kamil Grzycki is going to be on for Poland, and there's more changes afoot for Austria as well. Kamil Grzycki, who'll be known to West Brom and Hull City listeners, and he'll be on at the next break in play. Meantime, Lima goes to retrieve the loose ball for Austria, who are in front with 17 minutes to go. Back it goes to the goalkeeper Pence. Danso, his right-sided centre-half, just in front of him, pressurised by Lewandowski. So back he goes to the goalkeeper, and Pence will clear left-footed, looking for Baumgartner. Good flick on, helped on halfway by Wimmer into Arnautovic, who brings it down so sweetly.
He's done that really well today, Arnautovic. Got hold of it, obviously played a key part in the second goal, but just getting in bodies in and around him, using his body's physicality, holding him off, really not letting defenders settle on the ball as well. He's done really well today.
Well, Michael Gregorich, whose place Arnautovic took today, is ready to come on. Here's Baumgartner, great run, inside right channel, up to the edge of the area, squares it across for Wimmer, great save by Szczesny, and cleared away by Frankowski for a throw. Wimmer got hold of it, but it was straight at the Polish keeper, but he dealt with it well enough. 2-1 Austria.
Again, Baumgartner running behind, using that long stride, that elegant run that he's got when he powers forward, and he chooses the right option. I know Arnautovic wanted it, he wanted him to roll him in, but he just sees Wimmer and he gets a bit too much on it again. If it's a scuffy type finish, he probably scores into the far corner, but because he hits it so clean, that allows Szczesny to get down and save it. Really good play there again from Austria.
And now the Kamil Grzycki will be brought on, and it's Bartosz Slitz who has to make way, so it's a very attacking change. Slitz, a defensive midfielder. Grzycki, more of a winger, left winger. And Gregoritsch is being ready, so too is Romano Schmidt of Werder Bremen, who made just one start in the qualifiers. Gregoritsch scored 5 goals for his country last year, but they're going to wait to make this double change, I think, because Austria still have possession with a long throw potentially coming in from the far left-hand side of the field. So the double substitution for Austria won't be made quite yet. Arnautovic heads the ball back to Pras. Good ball to the edge of the area. Lima tries to feed it through the eye of the needle, comes out for a shot at the edge of the area from Seibel, but it was straight at Szczesny. Poland try and come away, but a good sliding challenge from Posch prevents it going downfield for Poland. And now Austria want to make the double change, and the referee says you're too late. Poland have already got the ball back into play.
Zalewski weren't letting that happen. He knew that the substitution was coming. He quickly got the ball in and threw it down the line.
Now Zalewski hits a long raking pass downfield, but it bounces twice and through to Patrick Pence, the goalkeeper, just controls it on his chest and plays a 1-2 with Lienhart, his centre half. Now Pence hits a left-footed ball aimed at Arnautovic. He got the flick on, and Sabitza's away in behind, tries to seal it for Austria. Sabitza round the keeper, Szczesny brings him down, penalty kick, and there will be a card, and it's a yellow card for Wojciech Szczesny. The rule of double jeopardy not used by the referee, but Sabitza running through went round to Szczesny, and he brought down the Austrian number 9, and now it's a penalty kick to surely seal it for Ralf Rangnick's side.
Do you know what I'm thinking? As Sabitza's going through, I'm thinking, is he going to finish this? He's going far too straight. He doesn't create any angle, but really well played. He just shows him. To be fair to Szczesny, he doesn't even stick his arms out. Sabitza catches his face. He kicks his chin and then goes down, and they give a penalty. But I mean, Szczesny doesn't catch him with his arm at all. It's all face.
Yeah, caught on the jaw by the right boot of Sabitzer. There was contact, but it certainly wasn't the arm. And Szczesny is only now backing up slowly towards his goal line, whilst Marko Arnautovic places the ball on the spot. And the referee just checking for any encroachment at the edge of the area. Arnautovic of Inter Milan up against another Serie A player, Szczesny of Juventus, for a chance to put Austria 3-1 up. Here comes Arnautovic, right-footed, blasts it into the bottom corner. Austria surely have 3 points. Huge celebrations from their captain. And Austria go 3-1 up with 12 minutes to go. And Poland, with their talisman out there, look in desperate trouble in this qualification group. Arnautovic makes no mistake from the spot. It's Austria 3, Poland 1.
Yeah, really good penalty from Arnautovic. He just slowed his time. I mean, he had to wait a little while before the penalty, and he looked calm, he looked composed. He's played really well today. He's led the line really well for Austria. He just takes his time, waits for kind of Szczesny to go the other way, and just rolls it with the inside of his right foot into that far corner. That's no more than he deserved, because I think he's led the line well. At times he's been given maybe scraps of service, but when the ball's come anywhere near him, the ball's stuck. He's done really well, he's played well, and he deserved that goal. Really nice penalty.
Goal number 37 of Marko Arnautovic's international career. And that's the second penalty we've seen scored at 2 European Championships. And still, Gregoritsch and Schmidt are waiting to come on. Gregoritsch hands on hips and stood there for a good 2 or 3 minutes, and they're still not making the double change, Austria. Poland get the game back underway on Talksport. But they've now got to find 2 goals to earn a point here, Poland, with just over 10 minutes of normal time to go in Berlin. Here is Zielinski, one of the most creative talents. Leaves it for Kamil Grzycki. Early ball into the box. It was intended for Lewandowski. Drifts beyond him and out of play for a goal kick. And surely now the double Austrian change will be made. And indeed, it is. Michael Gregoritsch of Freiburg. He's going to come on, but first of all, Schmidt is going to replace Christoph Baumgartner, who scored the second goal for Austria. Terrific performance from him. Schmidt, another Bundesliga footballer here for Austria, plays for Werder Bremen. He's coming on to replace him. Good form for Bremen, earns his call-up. It's only his 13th cap. And Arnautovic takes the acclaim as he is taken off by Ralf Rangnick to allow Gregoritsch his opportunity, winning his 57th cap. 80 minutes gone on Talksport. 3-1 to Austria.
Right decision to start Arnautovic. I think against France they played well, but maybe lacked a little bit of potency, certainly going forward. But I think since Arnautovic has played today, I think he's played so well. He's held the ball up really well. He's brought us others into the game. His movement's been good. He's looked sharp. He's obviously got himself a goal from the penalty spot. Really, really good evening's work from Marko Arnautovic.
You're listening to Euro Game Day live on Talksport, presented by Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction. Get your favourites delivered now. Ian Danter and Darren Bent with you at the Olympiastadion in Berlin, where Poland are under enormous pressure. No points from 2 games it will be, whilst all the other teams around them for the moment will have 3 points apiece before the Netherlands and France meet in Leipzig, live on Talksport in just a little while. Joe Shannon and Chris Awelimo will be alongside Hugh Wisencroft for live commentary of that game. Here's Krzyzicki for Poland. And the ball had gone out of play. And as Poland were trying to bring the ball forward, Kivior thought he'd kept it in, but not so, said the assistant. And Michael Proviers, having been undefeated in his first 8 games as the Poland coach when he took over from the fairly disastrous reign of Fernando Santos, is now looking at back-to-back defeats at the start of these championships.
Yeah, looking at some of the Polish body language as well, it's almost like that penalty's knocked the wind out their sails, because heads are slumped now. I know there's only 8 minutes left, but it's almost like they've given up now. It's like, game over, we're not going to qualify, and it's difficult out there. These last 8 minutes, just give it everything. You're 3-1 down. There's no point, resting on your laurels. You might as well go forward and try and get something from this game.
Well, Natalie Sawyer said it before, they've won just 3 of 15 European Championship matches, Poland. And 2 of those were at the Euros in 2016. Out to the left-hand side, they're trying to find Grzycki, but it's intercepted by Stefan Posch. Ball in field to Sabitzer, who's now got the captain's armband. Posch will now leave it for Gregoritsch, the substitute, driving in field from the right-hand side, up to the edge of the area. Still got it, Gregoritsch. Tries to run through Bednarek, but there was enough of a touch. Poor clearance. Comes out to Stefan Posch, who goes for goal and gets a brilliant save out of Szczesny to turn it wide for a corner kick. Stefan Posch let fly with his left foot, and Szczesny at full stretch just kept it out. 3-1 Austria.
What I say that is because that's heading to the top corner. That's travelling. Stefan Posch's weaker foot as well. His left foot, clean strike into that far corner. And to be fair, Szczesny does really, really well there. Absolutely flies across his box. Great save as he's going into the top corner.
And that's a corner kick that Wimmer is going across to take on that far side. Right-footed out swinger. There are a few Austrian players in the box. They've not left everybody at home. Gregoritsch making a run across the line. In it comes from Wimmer. Dancer will try and keep it in play. It's near side, but as he brought it down, it bobbled over the dead ball line. Just over 6 minutes of normal time to go. Poland getting increasingly desperate. Quick goal kick from Szczesny. It's Poland 1, Austria 3 on Talksport at the Euros. 3 precious points for Ralf Rangnick and Austria. Their final game will be against the Netherlands next week. Poland up against the French. 3 points apiece for France, Netherlands and Austria. Poland with nothing to show for 2 games so far. What can they get going in these last 5 or so minutes at the Olympiastadion? Here's Sabitzer. running into two Polish players on this near touchline, but good skill from Seiwald to win it back, and Gregorich in the centre circle as players running either side of him. There's a chance for Konrad Laimer, who's made a run into the box. He's round Szczesny and puts it just wide. Dragged it across the face of goal and past the far post for a goal kick to Poland, who once again cut the Polish defence to ribbons.
Just a great run from Konrad Laimer, really good play, but Wimmer, you've got to react as he goes around the goalkeeper. Sprint. If he sprints into that 6-yard box, he taps it in at the back post. He's almost expecting Laimer to score, so he just doesn't react. I think if he absolutely sprints 5 yards first, he taps it in the empty net, 4-1, game over.
Still 3-1 therefore to Austria. 5 minutes to go on Talksport. Poland in possession inside their own half with Zielinski. Finds Jakub Moder on halfway, tucks it out to Frankowski on the right-hand side. Zalewski is now on the right-hand side for the Poles. Frankowski on the overlap, tries to get the cross in, gone behind, corner kick for Poland, and they won't hang around getting this ball back into play. Frankowski indeed claps at the ball boys to get the ball back to him so he can place the ball in the quadrant. Kasper Urbanski's going to come on as a late change to add more attacking intent for Poland. But he won't be brought on just yet. Here's the corner. Poor corner, headed clear at the near post, and then an ambitious effort from Zielinski from fully 30 yards out that goes well over the crossbar. Austria have a goal kick. They have a 3-1 lead, and it's Zielinski who's coming off to allow Urbanski to come on to replace him. Zielinski relinquishing the captain's armband then. But he did that as soon as Lewandowski came on. So time running out for Poland. And they have an awful lot to do here. 2 goals to find, and Austria have a goal kick. Pence will hit it left-footed, lands in the centre circle, headed up in the air. But there was a push by Gregorich on Bednarek, so it's a free kick to Poland, and again trying to get play restarted as soon as they can. Square ball from Bednarek to Davidovic. Oh, and then ball given away by Kivior, and here's Wimmer up to the edge of the area for Austria, runs into traffic, loses possession, but then it's won back by Posch, then he loses it, and up it goes to Swiderski on halfway. Good covering from the centre half, Lienhardt, and Austria have it again with Gregorich. Slides it down the left-hand side of the box. Schmidt keeps it in play, tries to send it back across the face of goal, claims for handball against Frankowski. Nothing doing, says the referee. Szczesny bowls it out underarm to Zalewski, who darts up to the halfway line, finds Lewandowski just over the halfway line, trying to use his pace and his strength. Good run from Lewandowski, but in the end he runs into Danso, who clears it downfield. It's nodded down by Schmidt for Gregorich. Just over 2 minutes to go of normal time. Little wall pass from Wimmer to Schmidt, who gets it back, and then Austria calm things down and go back to the halfway line.
Yeah, they should be in control of this game, Austria. They're winning 3-1. It's almost like you attack, we attack. I'm sure Ralf Rangnick doesn't like that. He wants them to control possession, keep hold of the ball, make Poland work, and when the opportunity arises, then you go and punish them.
Stefan Posch, the right back, coming in field, finds Seiwald. Laimer into the feet of Sabitzer with his back to goal 35 yards out. Then Schmidt will roll the ball into Gregorich, back out to Schmidt on the inside left channel. Gregorich has gone on to the left wing now, the number 11 for Austria, and then he just almost casually knocks it back to Prass in the left back position.
Do you know what? Sabitzer's been really good today. Really good. I've enjoyed watching him play today. Not only of his quality with the ball at his feet, I didn't understand how hard he worked. He sprints forward, he sprints back, he got around and out of it, he ran forward, he caused problems. He has played really well today.
Stefan Posch feinted to cross with his right from the edge of the area. Instead cuts it infield to Wimmer. Wimmer up to Sabitzer at the edge of the area, but he's dispossessed. And away come Poland, but it will be a throw-in. Couldn't keep it in play there, Poland, and they're running out of time. Just remains to be seen how much additional time the Turkish referee is going to add. 69,455 inside the Olympia Stadium. And even though I think the Polish outnumber the Austrians in terms of spectators, it's the Austrians making all the noise. 3-1 they lead. Here's Kivior. up to the halfway line, and Grzycki tries to tuck it in field, but too short a pass. It was comfortable for Austria to pick off and win back. And then sliding challenge from Urbanski on Wimmer just gives a free kick to Austria on halfway.
Yeah, again, Wimmer, he's been done well since he's come on as well. A little bit of, at times, his quality hasn't quite been there, but he's worked hard for his team, he's put a shift in, he's carried the ball when he needs to, he's worked back when he's had to as well, and he could have got himself a goal. Moving into 4 minutes of minimum stoppage time. I can tell you that Kylian Mbappe is on the bench for France tonight against the Netherlands. We'll get full team news from Joe Shannon in Leipzig very shortly, but Mbappe will not start for the French tonight. He's played in each of their last 19 matches at major tournaments. We're in stoppage time in Berlin, and Austria 3-1 up. And if France avoid defeat tonight, this result will effectively eliminate Poland before they play the French next week. Ball lobbed downfield by Lienhardt for Austria. Kept by Lewandowski, dropping deep to try and win the ball now. But again, he's dispossessed. Lima and Gregoritsch working really well, and Lima now darting down the left-hand side for Austria. There's plenty of red shirts forward. Gregoritsch makes a run inside, but the pass doesn't find him, and it's out of play for a goal kick. And Szczesny again doesn't hang around, but we've already played a minute of the minimum 4 that have been added on here in Berlin. Urbanski chests the ball down on halfway and lays it off to Jakub Kiwior. Now Grzycki lets the ball run through his legs and tries to outpace Stefan Posch, but the right back for Austria deals with it. Danso finds Wimmer, and then a first time booted clearance downfield from Posch doesn't stay in play. Do you know, I think they've had good moments, Poland. I mean, the Group D was always going to be tough for them to get out of. The Netherlands, France, Austria and Poland. But I think they've had good moments in both games we've watched them play, but they haven't managed to consistently put a half together or a full or 75 minutes. It's always been like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes here, and again, I know it's a lack of quality in terms of the whole squad, but that's saying certainly if you're the Polish manager, that's probably disappointed you a little bit. You haven't had a sustained period in 2 games where you've really been dominant and really used the ball well.
Urbanski for Poland has to go back into the centre circle for Bednarek. Now Frankowski tries to jink away from Schmidt. Good tenacious work from Frankowski. Puts a cross into the box, queuing up at the far post. Oh, it's volleyed wide by Grzycki, but the offside flag had gone up against him anyway. And he wasn't to know that and put his shot wide of the post.
Do you know what, Daz? I don't think it is offside. I think the linesman saying goal kick. That is a big chance. The only thing I'd say is maybe it comes across at an awkward height and maybe a little bit too much pace on it, but someone of his quality, Grzycki, he's got to score that. At least hit the target.
Steered it wide though. So a goal kick to Austria. Nearly 3 minutes of added time have elapsed in Berlin. Austria heading for 3 precious points. And they played well against the French and ended up losing through an own goal from Maximilian Wöber. But here in Berlin, they've shown a little bit more, Darren Bent, that they are worthy of the dark horses tag that they've been given by some ahead of these championships. That's what they had actually ahead of the last Euros.
But they've got good players in their squad, and they're missing arguably one of their best ones in David Alaba. But Marko Arnautovic, the decision from Ralf Rangnick to put him in, I think has made all the difference today, because they've looked more potent, they've created opportunities, they've taken their chances. Sabitza's been full of running. They've had some really good performance. Bart Garm as well. I thought he played really well. So they've had options to score goals.
Wimmer being asked to chase after a long ball downfield for Austria, but it skips ahead of him and out of play. Goal kick for Poland again. Szczesny gets it back into play quickly, but we're dealing in seconds now as some late sunshine breaks through the gap away to our left, and the referee blows for full time. Austrian arms aloft. 3 points for Ralf Rangnick's men. Polish players sink to the turf knowing that they are on the brink of elimination from Euro 2024 after back-to-back defeats. And Austria have gone level, at least for now, with both the Netherlands and the French with this 3 points. They got things going with a header from Gernot Trauner to put them ahead, early in the piece. Poland got themselves level on the half hour through Piontek. But then in the second half, once Pras had come on, one of his first involvements was to set up Christoph Baumgartner with a precise finish past Szczesny to put Austria back in front. And then a foul by Szczesny on Sabitzer gave the Austrians a penalty, clinically put away by Arnautovic. And the Austrians have 3 points on the board and in this very, very tight group. But for Poland, it's very nearly the end of the road already. Full time at the Olympia Stadion. Poland 1, Austria 3.
Ian Danta, thank you very much. So it is Austria then who pick up their first win of these European Championships. Darren Bent, was it a deserved victory in the end?
In the end, I'd probably say so, yeah. I think they just had a little bit more quality, certainly in the attacking areas. I thought the first half, Austria started off really well, but then Poland, to be fair, ended the first half probably the better side. And then the second half was kind of similar. Austria started off really sharp again, but then Poland just gradually got themselves back into it. But then, as I said, once they got their second goal, I always felt like Austria were going to go on and win it. And they did that. And again, to be fair, towards the end of the second half, it could have been more than just 3.
Well, let's take a look at the King performance thanks to Burger King.
King Performance on Talksport with Burger King. Bring home the ultimate food satisfaction with the Gourmet King's Barbecue Steakhouse Angus. Order your Burger King delivery now.
So, Darren, who starred for you?
Well, there was a load of Austrians I thought played well. I thought Marcel Sabitzer, I thought he was brilliant. But I'm going to go for Marko Arnautovic. I think him being put back into the team, they just looked a little bit more potent up front, more of a threat. He played really well. He held the ball up. He got himself a penalty. He played a big part in the second goal as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Marko Arnautovic.
Yeah, a terrific performance, and it's a front-footed style that clearly there's no other way of playing for Austria. They've come away with that victory. Darren, thank you very much for your commentary today alongside Ian Danta. That was our King Performance pick in association with Burger King.